Hey, welcome back to the stream where keeping it real goes right. Welcome back to this stream, this official coverage, this real take coverage of the NBA draft live here on YouTube. Welcome to all the new people. I can see that Cincy Edit is already here. Welcome back, Cincy. Glad you're not dead of a heat stroke. That is good news. But yeah, so the NBA draft is here, and we already have some craziness that has ensued over the past few hours, minutes, however long. There's been a lot of talk about trades, blockbuster trades, and lots more to talk about. We will get to that as soon as we can. Before I do, though, remember to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. So far, riding this one solo. However, guests could pop up. They could not. It's a wild one tonight. Who knows? But it's gonna be a fun time here talking basketball with everyone here. So let's talk about something that is just breaking now. It is just breaking at this hour, at this minute, at this day, and that is this potential blockbuster trade for Russell Westbrook that would send him to, yes, the Los Angeles Lakers. So Russell Westbrook could be on his way to Los Angeles in this trade. And this is the framework of a trade. This has not happened yet. However, it has ramifications that could affect the entire NBA. Russell Westbrook on his way right now, as according to Woj, to the Lakers in exchange for a first-round draft pick this year, Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, and KCP. Three big instrumental pieces in that Lakers offense, in that Lakers team, could potentially be gone in this trade, and that is just huge. Again, nothing is finalized here, as this banner will tell you right here. They are close to a deal, however. Woj expects it to be done because there's been a lot of talk. There was talk that maybe Buddy Hield might be part of a trade that could go to the Lakers. Then these talks between the Lakers and the Wizards kind of happened. And look, if this is true, you have to think that not only is Westbrook on his way out, but could potentially Bradley Beal be on his way out too. Bradley Beal was a big piece that many people talked about, could be on the way out in Washington. A lot of people said that he was unhappy. Maybe Russell Westbrook could actually end up changing things, and he did for a time. A lot of people thought that he would end up changing things for a time. However, that is not manifested right now. It looks like Russell Westbrook is on his way out, and it now looks like Bradley Beal could be on his way out. But, we'll talk about this in terms of both teams. First, let's talk about the Lakers. In terms of the Lakers, you get Russell Westbrook. This puts you right back into the conversation of being, again, one of the top teams in the league, because not only do you have Anthony Davis, who is a premier center in this league, not only do you have LeBron James, who at his age, still one of the best players in the league, one of the more valuable players to the team in the league. You also get another like LeBron-type player in that he is extremely valuable in what he provides to the team. He provides automatic scoring. Russell Westbrook is a scoring machine. Even on this team, he has the ability, I think, to be a scoring machine. He's got the ability to get rebounds. He's got the ability to assist the ball. So if LeBron James is ever off the court, if LeBron James ever misses times, if they ever have to do load management with him, you can expect Russell Westbrook to come in there, take that role, and actually be able to facilitate the basketball as well as take over the game when they need to. So these are multiple things that could be at work here. Do I think Russell Westbrook is going to end up being, the same player? Like he's going to be averaging a triple-double? It's still possible, but when you're sharing the ball handling abilities with LeBron James, it becomes less likely that he might hit 10 assists or over. But can he still score 18 points a game, get 10 rebounds, and maybe even 10 assists? I think that is still in the realm of possibility here. But again, this is fast-moving stuff. This is according to Woj, still nearing the trade. This is nearing being finalized. It has not been finalized yet. That is why, Cincy, I have not changed the draft order yet. However, could change a lot of things. Now, from the Wizards' perspective, what does this mean? And that's a good question, because even I don't know what this really means. If you're the Wizards, does this mean that maybe Bradley Beal is on his way out? I think that's looking more and more likely as time goes by. Could it mean that we could see someone like Kyle Kuzma or like maybe be that second guy with Bradley Beal? I don't know. As much as we are all fans of Kyle Kuzma has not really been that elite player that many either expected him to be or he was, but I don't think he necessarily has to be. And that's the biggest problem I had with all the Bradley or the Kyle Kuzma slander for years on the Lakers, that, oh, well, Kyle Kuzma, he's not as good as he's not as good as LeBron. He's never going to be as good as LeBron. He was never going to be, a top elite player. Like, putting that expectation on a young player like that, I think it's unfair. But regardless, if you are the Wizards, you're getting a young player like Kyle Kuzma. You're getting Montrezl Harrell, who, again, he can do some things, but it looks like we're on our way to another rebuild here in the nation's capital, and I think that's what it's going to be. I think this is going to be another rebuild for them. Bradley Beal, we talked about how he could potentially be on the way out. That's looking more and more likely. And with that being said, I mean, look, again, this is just nearing being done. It has not been confirmed. It has not been totally finalized yet, but we'll stick with it. But, man, again, this kind of changes a lot of things. Not only does it change the draft order, but it also changes what these two teams are going to look like and do. What do the Wizards do now that they don't have Russell Westbrook potentially? Now, like, I think the Wizards hold I believe the Wizards hold the 15th pick. So holding the 15th pick, that could mean that they could maybe try to move up now that they have people like Kuzma. Again, it's not finalized, but they could try to trade up a little bit, maybe get one of these younger guys, maybe get a Franz Wagner, a Josh Giddey. But still, you're trying to build a young team. I don't think it's going to be enough to keep Bradley Beal around. So, again, not confirmed. We still have to work through it. There's still a lot of time here. This is going to be a long night. My throat is going to be very sore. So, if you want to make it up to me, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Now, I'm going to go over very quickly my mock draft. And look, I just want to make it clear that this was done before this talk of the Lakers and the Wizards trade came up. So bear that in mind. This is before the Lakers and Wizards trade. So we already know one thing. Cade Cunningham is going to be the number 1 overall pick. Woj actually confirmed that, so we can put that up there. Cade Cunningham is going to be the number 1 selection by the Pistons. It's going to happen, confirmed. Jalen Green, I have going number 2. There's been a lot of talk about connections with him and the Houston Rockets. I think Jalen Green would fit right in there. He can score. He's got the ability. He's got the experience as well coming from the G League. Evan Mobley to my Cleveland Cavaliers. This is a pick that they cannot mess up. For years, the Cavs have been notorious for messing up these early draft picks, and for years they have given me so much stress and anxiety. Literally, it is right there, Dan Gilbert. Don't find a way to mess this up, but he probably will anyway. Number 4, I had Jalen Suggs going to the Toronto Raptors. Jalen Suggs, I do think, is going to be one of those interesting players to watch 4 or 5 years down the line, how he develops. He's got the leadership qualities early, and I think he fits right into that team. This is probably the best place for someone like Jalen Suggs to go. Now, at number 5, I have Scotty Barnes, which kind of deviates from where a lot of people go. Now, Scotty Barnes, to me, is going to be someone who is going to go a lot higher in this draft than earlier anticipated. I think Scotty Barnes, he's got a lot of things to like. He's a defensive player. He's got the ability to lock people down. I think the Orlando Magic might be looking for that right now as they're kind of also shifting. But I do think the Magic are also a team to watch to maybe trade up. I don't think they're going to trade up to 2. God willing, they're not trading up to 3, but there is some talk that they might go trade up to 3 or 4. Cleveland, don't take the bait. It's not worth it. Evan Mobley is a machine. Now, keep it going. I got James not Boogie Nights going to the Thunder. I think he gives them the confidence, the ability to score. I think he's going to be a really good piece next to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Jonathan Kuminga going to the Warriors. Now, this is something. Jonathan Kuminga is one of the higher-rated players coming out, but to me, I think what is best for Kuminga, what is best for any team that selects him is to make sure he goes to a place that already has, a great elite offense. And then on top of that, you can kind of take his defensive ability, his ability to really take away and lock down some defenders or some offense. His ability to defend, honestly, I think is great. He reminds me a lot of Tobias Harris. He reminds me kind of a little bit of a Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, which is kind of why I also don't want to see him taken higher. I think the Warriors would be a great place for him. The offensive load won't be as much on him. He'll be able to kind of do his thing and really fit well in that offense. I think that's the best fit for him too, and it'll allow him to also grow slowly and gradually. Next, I have Franz Wagner going to the Magic. Franz Wagner, to me, is one of the most interesting prospects as well because he's got so much ability, and also, hey man, Dirk was also from Germany. I know it means nothing in terms of real basketball talk, but hey, I gotta say it. Then we go down the line. We got Jalen Johnson going to the Kings. Josh Giddey, who to me is the gem of this draft. Josh Giddey out of Australia. And then Alperen Sengun. I definitely mispronounced his name, but that dude is a baller center from Turkey. You pair him with LaMelo Ball. I think that only good things can come of that. So those are things to watch as well. Sorry, my voice is already getting a little hoarse, but I will be taking a sip of water as we go through. Keon Johnson at number 12 going to the Spurs. Moses Moody is someone who I am interested in seeing where he goes. He's got a lot of upside, I think. Davion Mitchell I have going to the Warriors. Again, another player who I think rated high, but he's going to fall down a little bit, and some people even have him potentially falling out of the lottery. So those are things to watch. And Trey Murphy III, a good scorer, could help out the Wizards. Again, that mock draft was made before this news of the Russell Westbrook trade came about. So a lot of interesting things. Happening here. Again, the breaking news, which again, not so breaking anymore. We already kind of knew it. That Oklahoma State guard, Cade Cunningham, is going to go first overall to the Detroit Pistons. So again, a lot of things that are happening and changing. Guys, if you have any questions, be sure to hit the comment section below, or the chat rather, over here. We'll get through these. Let's see. The setup is amazing. Thank you, Cincy. I use the same setup for the NFL draft. That backcourt ain't great. You talking about? Are you talking about the Lakers? I mean, look, it is what it is. Anthony Bennett at number 3. Shit, don't mention that name. Don't you dare mention. We could have had Victor Oladipo. The Cavs could have taken Victor Oladipo in 2013. Instead, they chose Anthony Bennett. Jesus. I should not be drinking Coke, but I need to stay awake. And I need the energy since Andrew is not here today. But a lot to get to here today. Also want to make note of one other thing that did happen. This was in the past few days. So, it's not really big news right now, but it's still worth to note. And I already updated the stream. So, this was a trade that was confirmed, that has gone through between the Pelicans and the Memphis Grizzlies. Basically, they swapped first-round picks. And now you have the Pelicans who are going to be receiving the 17th overall pick, the 51st pick this year, and Jonas Valanciunas, big center. And then you have the Memphis Grizzlies who are going to get pick number 10, pick number 40, a first-round protected pick in 2022 from the Lakers, Steven Adams and Eric Bledsoe. So, if you're the if you're the Pelicans, you might wonder why, or a Pelicans fan, you might wonder why do we give up Steven Adams and Eric Bledsoe for all this? And honestly, it was a bit of a salary dump. I think they're trying to move some cap space around, trying to re-sign some players, maybe re-sign Lonzo, maybe try to get somebody else who might try to come and they might want to pair with Zion. That's the biggest possibility. So again, it is. It's up and down, so we'll see what actually comes of that. But I think it's mostly a salary move. Now, if you're Memphis, you got Ja Morant already. They already had a good nucleus, a good young core. You add a veteran like Steven Adams. You add another veteran like Eric Bledsoe. Whoever they're going to pick at 17. Again, this is a deep draft. That's one thing I want to make clear. This is a very, very this is a very deep draft. Like. Some people are saying that this might be one of the best drafts in NBA history, and they might be right, because I'm looking at this list, and there are not many bad players at all in this draft, especially in the first round. I've never seen so many players who I could rationally make the argument should go in the lottery. That is how good this is, and we'll talk about some of these players as this draft ensues. Again, it is 7:16 on the East Coast time. We're about 44 minutes away from the NBA draft. If you haven't already, guys, remember to hit that like button, hit that thumbs up, help out the algorithm, help me grow. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. So I know I threw a lot of information there. I'm sorry. Just trying to keep the energy going, trying to really laid the foundation of what's going to be an interesting night in the NBA. Again, we're about 43 minutes away from the draft, and I'll bring it to you guys and all that kind of stuff as it happens. So, yeah, let's take a second now, and we could have had Giannis. Yes, the Cavs could have had Giannis as well, but we don't like nice things, Cincy. We don't like nice things. So let's talk a little bit about little bit about the top three. So this draft might have one of the best top three players I've ever seen, because you have and again, this is even in the 2003 draft. Like, the 2003 draft was amazing, but man, these are three players in Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, and Evan Mobley who have the ability to be special all-star, all-pro level players in the NBA. Because Cade Cunningham, a lot of people compare him to kind of like a little bit of a Luka Doncic, but a little bit more athleticism than Luka. He's got a lot of ability to make things happen, get help for his teammates. I think Cade Cunningham, while I think that he probably has some of the best upside, I think he has the best upside of anyone in this draft, I do think there are some weaknesses to his game. Like, there are times when he was at OK State where he didn't shoot as consistently as you would like to see. The explosiveness might not have been there. But that being said, I think a lot of his fundamentals that he does have, and look, for someone to be that young at 19, be that disciplined with his fundamentals, I think is huge. A lot of people even compare him to Jimmy Butler with a jumper, which I think is actually a fair comparison. He's got the size, the ability to defend. He might be one of the best perimeter players he might be the best perimeter player in this draft, honestly. So I think there's a good reason why he's the consensus number one pick. There's no really holes in his game. He's a very well-rounded player. Now, you take a look at someone like Jalen Green. Jalen Green is, I think, going to go down as one of the most innovative players in the history of the NBA. And that's not only because of the way he plays, but also because of how he kind of got here. Jalen Green took the G League route, which is not really a route that you've seen a lot of players take. It opened up for the first time. He went out of high school right to the G League. He made some money, and he played with pros. That's the big thing. Jalen Green is kind of tested in that way. He's battle tested. He played with pros. He averaged 17 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. But he has the ability to score. He proved that he's a good shooter. He shot right around 40%, I believe, in the G League. And look, he reminds me of a lot of another Jaylen, and that being Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, formerly of the Celtics, I believe he then got traded to the Hornets. Don't quote me on that; might be wrong, but regardless, Jaylen, he reminds me a little bit of Jaylen Brown. He's got underrated rebounding ability. The athleticism is there, and he's able to create shots off the ball, which I think is paramount if you want to have success in this league. And the Rockets are basically building from scratch here. I just saw that I have 6 viewers concurrent and 9 likes. Nice. But the Rockets are trying to build something here, so I think Jaylen Brown would not be a bad pick. But in my opinion, I think someone like Evan Mobley, who the Cavs are likely going to get, fingers crossed, by the way, because nothing is guaranteed with Dan Gilbert at the helm. But someone like Evan Mobley has the ability to be even more special. We talk a lot about franchise-changing centers. Franchise-changing centers. Evan Mobley is the epitome of a franchise-changing center. Think Chris Bosh. Think even a little bit of Joel Embiid if he can learn how to shoot, which I think he can. Mobley didn't shoot really frequently at USC, but given the right training, given the right regimen, I think he is going to be a big deal. So we'll see about that. Jaylen Brown didn't get traded. Yeah, okay. I was thinking of someone else. Yeah, like I said, don't quote me on that. I've got a lot of things going through my head right now. But thank you, King Petty, for clearing that up. But look, like I said, Evan Mobley, 16 points per game at USC. He averaged almost 3 blocks a game. He's an amazing block. He's an amazing defender. He's proven that. Good luck going in the post against Evan Mobley. If for whatever team picks him, again, fingers crossed for the Cavs. It has to be him. There's a lot to get to. Remember, guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Ask some questions in the chat, please. I love to have things to talk about because we still have about 40 minutes, a little under 40 minutes until the draft gets underway. You got to keep the energy up. I don't drink soda, but I have to when I need the energy. But yeah. Evan Mobley's great. Another player that I like out of this draft that I think is going to go not as high as a lot of people think or high as I personally believe he should, because I believe this guy is, not only is he a high character kind of guy, he can be a game-changing player. And that is one Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey out of Australia. He played in the NBL. He's got an amazing ability to be great in this game. And I'll just talk about it, like why. Because to me, Josh Giddey, he's somebody who can facilitate the ball. He's someone who has the ability to score and get better at shooting, which you don't see a lot of at players his age. He's only 19, but you don't see the raw ability there, to develop with. And then you factored in the rebounding. The dude is a rebounder. I think he can average 8 rebounds a game as a point guard. He's also somebody who played in Australia against professionals. Again, I'm not saying the competition is as good as the NBA or even college, but the defense. The defenses you face, these are hard-hitting defenses in Australia. Like these are grown men you're playing with. These aren't just, young kids at AAU level or younger college kids. These are men you're playing with. And for Josh Giddey to do what he did when he played in Australia against these people at the young age, he reminds me a lot of, he kind of like LaMelo, or not LaMelo, but more like it's a little bit of LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball, maybe a little bit more Lonzo. I think he's like a better version of Lonzo. Like, if there's like a midpoint between Lonzo and LaMelo, I would say Josh Giddey is right at that midpoint. He averaged not too many points, 9 points, but again, it's the NBL. It is only like 28 minutes per game. He was able to grab about 6 rebounds a game. And the steal, he has got the ability to steal, didn't turn the ball over much, the ability to facilitate. I think his passing vision, his court vision might be the most underrated or even the best in the draft. That's how highly I think of this guy. which is exactly why I wanted Cleveland, my Cleveland Cavaliers, to potentially trade to try to get back into the first round, somehow get 2 first-round picks. That would be difficult. And maybe at number 10, maybe at 11, and try to get Josh Giddey if he is there. Alas, that probably won't happen, but he's a 6'8", 200-pound passer who has the ability to get better as a shooter. And what more could you ask for out of somebody who is kind of battle-tested in the NBL, battle-tested as far as his leadership, and he creates mismatches. That's one thing that I think is underrated in the NBA. One of the reasons it's not only that Luka Doncic is so good is not only because he's a freak and not only because he might be the most talented player in the game as far as the fundamentals and his basketball ability, but the fact that he is a 6'8", 6'9" point guard who moves very well, who has great elusiveness, who's able to drive in the paint. That creates a huge mismatch that I don't think enough people talk about. So I think I'm not saying he's Luka because he is not. Like I said, he's more so like a better version of Lonzo Ball. And I think he has the ability to get better. You pair him, and right now I have him going about number 10 to Memphis. You pair him potentially with Ja Morant in Memphis. Could be you could see big things happen in Memphis because that takes some pressure off of Ja Morant. So that's what I think. We'll see how this kind of goes and continues, but it's sure to be an interesting night. Like I said, this is one of the deepest drafts there has been in a while. I genuinely believe we're going to look back at this draft to be one of the best of all time. And look, I could be wrong. Who knows? But given the talent that we've seen, given the talent that I've looked at, evaluated, and the reports that I've read and the basketball I've seen, I have not seen a more talented crop of athletes in my time following basketball. And yeah, it's been a short time, but I'm a young guy, but still. I do think that points to, at least in this generation, this being a very special group. Moses Moody is another one that comes to mind. This kid at Arkansas, he's great. I think he's going to be potentially one of the steals of this draft. There's so many players you can directly point to and be like, oh, that guy's a steal. That guy's a steal of this draft. So there's a lot. There's a lot going on. All right. Someone says in the chat, I think either Slovenia or France will take gold medal in basketball at the Olympics. Australia, in my opinion, will be third place. Slovenia. Let me talk about Slovenia. Slovenia and Luka Doncic. Sorry, no, not Slovenia and Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic, not Slovenia. Luka Doncic is going to win gold at the Olympics. That's a fair assessment, honestly. Luka is playing out of this world. He has single-handedly brought Slovenia into relevancy. The first time they've ever made the Olympics ever as a country. The first time that basketball team has ever made the Olympics, and he's just going out there balling 40 points a game, 40 points a game, 40-point games. He is just insane. It just shows you how Luka is just getting better. He's on this exponential upward trajectory where he's only getting better, and it's at a scary rate. So, and I think playing in these Olympics, facing some of this international talent is also going to help him get better next season. So watch out for anyone in the NBA. Luka Doncic, I think he has the ability to take them. At least they're going to place. I think Slovenia is going to place. France could be interesting, I believe, but don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong here. I think if the United States can get out of their own heads, and if they actually try, they can win. That's always they have so much talent, but it's about getting out of their own heads. It's about focusing, and I don't know if they're going to focus. I genuinely don't know. How about half the stars in the NBA are Europeans? That is true. You got Giannis, Luka, Nikola Jokic, Rudy Gobert, Bogdan Bogdanovic. Don't forget about Boban. Don't forget about Porzingis. Look. There has been a renaissance of European players in the NBA, and I think that is great because not only is it making the game more international, not only is it making the league more international, but you're getting the best players. You are now legitimately like there's a whole new talent crop that's popping up, and I love that. And I some of my favorite players. Luka Doncic right now is my favorite player. Luka Doncic might be he is definitely my favorite player. He might be the best player in the NBA over the next decade. And that's no caps. That's just a real take. So you have him, you have all of these guys. I think Bogdan Bogdanovic is criminally underrated right now. He makes a huge impact for his team. Nikola Jokic just won the MVP. Like, how can you argue with that? Like, he is the reigning MVP, is of European descent. He is great. And, I think it's a testament to how international the game is getting. One thing I would like to see, is possibly maybe see more international talent incorporated. I want to see talent from Africa incorporated more so than they already are, because a lot of the talent you're seeing come from Africa. They go through the college route, they go through the sometimes European route, and I want to see the game develop a little more. The development, maybe investment more in the development of people from the continent of Africa. I think that there's a whole talent pool there that could be made better. I think South America, also South American countries, that's a place we should be in. Where basketball, the NBA especially, should be investing in developing players. So it just shows you there's a whole bunch of talent just all across the world, and it just takes developing and finding that talent and really making that gem out of the and making that diamond rather out of the rough, and harnessing it. So I love it. The NBA has become more so of an international game. I think that's best for the NBA. It's best for sports in general. Guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't also, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. We are just under 30 minutes away from the kickoff of the NBA draft. There's a lot to get to before we even get there. One of the big things that has been talked about, or hasn't really been talked about in the midst of all of this news about Westbrook to the Lakers, Westbrook here, like what's going on, is one of the more interesting stories, or what we thought was going to be one of the more interesting stories of the offseason, and that was Ben Simmons. So as it looks right now, there hasn't been much talk about it, but there is a lot of finger pointing, or there's a lot of signs that are pointing to Ben Simmons being traded before next season. There was reportedly, a meeting with Ben Simmons' camp and the 76ers. Some of the talk coming out of that meeting is that kind of both sides want to move away from each other. The 76ers are reportedly asking for a James Harden-esque type of deal, that type of package for the former first overall pick. They are asking for honestly a lot here for Ben Simmons, but you can argue that maybe he might be worth it. That being said, Ben Simmons to me is, it's weird. I think he is a great player, a great athlete. And if he could learn to shoot, and if he had ever learned to shoot, he might be a top 3 player in the game. He might be a dominant top 3 player in the game. But the fact that he hasn't at this point, and the fact that he still struggles from the free throw line, he still struggles from shooting mid-range shots, he still struggles as much as he does and barely ever shoots from 3, it points to something that maybe no matter what the 76ers can do, because they put him through offseason regimens. They put him through changing his shooting style, changing his shooting arm, changing his sleeve. Why does he wear a shooting sleeve, people ask. It's a great freaking question. A lot of these questions have been asked for a long time and time again. And I think it's getting to the point where the 76ers are like, okay, maybe this isn't the guy we need alongside Joel Embiid. Maybe, just maybe, we should try to trade him. And look, what kind of team would be trying to get Ben Simmons at this point? That's a great question. What type of team would want a Ben Simmons? Like, there's not really an automatic fit that comes to mind when you think about it. At least for me, there's not. There's not an automatic team that comes to mind like, oh, Ben Simmons would fit amazingly there. If the Pelicans don't sign Lonzo or re-sign Lonzo, potentially, some people said, oh, maybe he can go play with Luka. I don't think that's going to happen. Ben Simmons needs the ball to do anything and be successful. Luka Doncic, also, your best chance to win if you're Dallas is put the ball in Luka Doncic and have him be the point guard. So I don't think that's likely. The Bucks, maybe that maybe they try to do that, but then is that going to be enough? What the Bucks are going to offer going to be enough? Because again, they want a James Harden type deal. They want a big haul. They want 5 draft picks for this, for Ben Simmons. Do I think they can get it? And do I think they will get it? If they push hard enough, they might get something in that ballpark. But I don't think they're going to get anything. They're not going to get that same deal because these are 2 different players. Ben Simmons is a great athlete, a very, very good player. I would even say a great player at times. But his inability to shoot and his inability to hit free throws have hindered him throughout his career, and it's going to hinder any team that wants to trade for him. It would be more so a salary dump, I would say. If a team did that wasn't directly, I would say the Pelicans. Again, that's the only team that comes to mind. If any other teams come to mind, let me know. Please let me know. But again, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Anyway. So that's that. We'll come back to that as soon as we can. If that ever happens, that might be something to watch for tonight. Who knows? There's a lot of things to watch for tonight. Again, for those who don't know, the Pistons are going to select Cade Cunningham number 1 overall. That has been decided. It has been... That's it. It's no guessing. Woj already reported that is what is going to happen, and Woj is nearly never wrong. Anyone, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to throw it in the chat right now. I'll be more than happy to answer those questions. Yeah. So, again, big night in store for the NBA. Big night in store for some of these players. Look, a lot of these players, Cade Cunningham he's a special kid, and he's got a special story. I think it's imperative we highlight that Cade Cunningham, at the age of 16, 17, became a father. He went to college. He has battled. He has put a lot he's sacrificed a lot to get to this point. And the dude has made it, and he is going to be the number 1 pick. I think whatever you think of Cade Cunningham, the player, the prospect, you love to see it. This is actually a good story. And look, people want to I don't know why. There's this need to bash players, right? There's this need to bash players because you think they might not, or you think they might be overrated, or you think they might be really, really good. A lot of people who hate on Cade Cunningham, I know, they admit that he's a great prospect and a great player and potentially even a top 3 pick. But they're like, oh no, but Jalen Green's better. I'm like, okay, Jalen Green, you can say he's better. That's fine. But why do you have to shit on Cade Cunningham at the same time you're hyping up Jalen Green? Why do you have to shit on Cade Cunningham at the same time you want to hype up Evan Mobley? And again, there's a difference between critiquing and just completely bashing them, calling them weak, soft, or whatever. That's subjective. You go by the facts of what's happened. You could say Evan Mobley, he as a center, he would probably have a bigger impact on some teams. You can say that Evan Mobley, if he learns to shoot, will be the best prospect in this draft, and that is true. Those are legitimate arguments you could put out there. Jalen Green, battle tested in the G League. You could say that, but you don't have to. You could say that without taking away from Cade Cunningham. You can say that without taking away from Jalen Green. You can say that without taking away from Suggs. Vice versa. It's just this way of talking. Anyway, we are 20 minutes away from the NBA draft going live. It's going to be an interesting night. We already know who's going number one. Again, we have Cade Cunningham is confirmed to be going number one. I'll pull up my my mock draft in just a second. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. We don't have an update on the Lakers news quite yet, but we will get that as soon as we can. Let's see. Sorry about that. Let's go here. Okay, there we go. So, here we go. So, we have here, this is, again, my mock draft here. I got Cade Cunningham at number 1, Jalen Green at number 2, Evan Mobley at number 3 to the Cavs, and then I have Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs is a player who I think he proved a lot in Gonzaga's run to that NCAA championship appearance. He proved a lot to some people. You know, he's got two of the most important traits that I think a player can have coming in from college or coming into the NBA. He's got the ability to he's got the athleticism, and he's also got the competitiveness and that drive that you love to see out of a young prospect, because it's hard. It's hard to see the discipline. It's hard to have the sheer drive early on. We've seen players who flopped specifically because they lack drive, specifically because they might, if they had tried a little harder, if they had been a little bit more competitive, it would have been a whole different story. But he averaged right around 5 rebounds a game. He is, for his position, for his size, a very good rebounder, 6'4". He only averaged 14 points a game, but he did show that he is a very good mid-range shooter, and that's something that I think can be taken advantage of. Look at someone like Devin Booker. Devin Booker, we know he can shoot the 3, but he killed people in the playoffs with his mid-range shooting ability. So I think Jalen Suggs, especially going on a team like Toronto, the Raptors have a good nucleus already. They have, they might trade Kyle Lowry, but for right now, they still have Kyle Lowry. They have Kyle Van Vliet. They have Pascal Siakam. These are players you can build around. You add Jalen Suggs to that mix. That is a very good young team that 2 years from now could be back into competition to compete for a championship. Yes, compete for a championship because of how good Jalen Suggs could be. You think of Jalen Suggs, like you got to think of some of the most athletic point guards we have in the game. Like especially the young one. Like think about someone like John Morant. Think about someone like, maybe a little bit of maybe a little bit of even Donovan Mitchell, I would say. Like not so much the scorer, but I'm talking about the ability to be such a well-rounded player. Like, there are so many well-rounded players, by the way, in this draft, and I think that kind of alludes to how deep this draft is. There's just so many players where you're just like, oh my God, these, like, there's, like, you can point to some holes, but like compare, like, a lot of these players in other drafts would be like top 5 picks, and that's like, you could go through like 15 and a lot of them would be top 5 picks. So that's just where I stand. But yeah, so again, we are counting down here. We are just about we're just about 15 minutes? No, we're 17 minutes away from the NBA draft kicking off live, and it is going to be an interesting night. I cannot wait to talk about it. I cannot wait to react to it. I cannot wait to cover it. So in the meantime, we could talk about some other news that's going on. Unless everyone has any questions, please ask your questions in the chat. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. We got daily videos about a lot of different topics, including the NFL, NBA, and professional wrestling as well. Real Take Wrestle Talk on Tuesday nights. Subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. Hit that thumbs up button. It's going to be an amazing night. We could see Ben Simmons on the move tonight. That is rumor is obviously making the rounds. There's always rumors making the rounds here at draft time. We do know that Russell Westbrook could be on the move tonight. That is a trade that is currently on the books, but we don't know if it is going to actually be like it's currently on the books. It is nearing completion, according to Woj. It is nearing completion. So take that with a little bit of grain of salt. That could mean that they are very close, and it could happen tonight. It could happen down the line, and you could see a situation where the Lakers are essentially picking for the Washington Wizards. So again, we'll kind of break that down and talk about that if it develops into something bigger, and as we go along here into the night. Into the Night, by the way, is a great show on Netflix that I think everyone should check out. Again, if you are just joining us, we do have this weird situation where Russell Westbrook could be on his way to Los Angeles. So here is the breakdown of the trade. The Lakers would receive Russell Westbrook, and in exchange, the Washington Wizards would get Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, who just opted into his $9 million player option today, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, as well as the Lakers' first-round pick this year. This would leave a very weird situation for Bradley Beal, who there's been talk that he might want out. There's been talk that he might be traded. There's been talk that he might stay. But if Russell leaves, and Russell is someone who Bradley Beal has said that he might be his most favorite teammate he's ever played with. Russell is someone who Bradley Beal said rejuvenated his desire and drive for the game. If Russell Westbrook goes, I think it's not if, but it's when. When does the trade for Bradley Beal out of Washington happen? When does that trade happen? I think that trade happens fairly soon after this deal is finalized, and it's going to happen, I think, before the NBA offseason is over. You would think, because there's been rumors for years that Bradley Beal has been unhappy at certain points, and I think this would be like getting rid of Westbrook now is a sign that the Wizards want to move in a little bit of a rebuild mode. They have some picks. They want to kind of change they want to change around the team a little bit, get that extra pick from the Lakers, get some young players like Kyle Kuzma, or get a young player like Kyle Kuzma to potentially maybe build around or trade later. But yeah, I mean, that's the only direction you really can go in, because is Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, and Bradley Beal going to be the competitive, trio you want? Maybe not. Maybe you put in a Trey Murphy, maybe a Davion Mitchell in a few years, maybe. But I don't think Bradley Beal is going to be part of the nucleus moving forward. I think they get rid of Bradley Beal. They get some draft picks, some big compensation for that, by the way. They will get some huge compensation for Bradley Beal. And look, they get a Davion Mitchell. They get a Trey Murphy. They potentially get a Keon Johnson. Down the line, Kuzma, Keon Johnson, and whoever they end up getting through this deal that they might get with Bradley Beal as well, that could be a tough team. That could be a tough nucleus to build around and to have, and maybe one day compete for a championship. So a lot to happen there. If you guys have any questions, please put them in the chat, as we are just about 12 minutes away from the NBA draft kicking off, going live, all of that jazz. It's going to be a wonderful time. I'm running out of adjectives. All right. So that's also interesting, though, the way that worked out, because there was so much talk. There was so much talk for months that Bradley Beal would be the guy from the Wizards and who ended up going to the Lakers. There was so much talk that he was going to be the one to leave for LA, but not Russell. And it's just interesting to me the way that all turned out, the way that, Russell Westbrook is the essentially the guy who the Lakers, you would have to think. You would have to think that LeBron James essentially told the Lakers that he wanted Russell. And look, I said it at the top of the hour, I will say it again. Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis and LeBron James, that is a big three. Like, Russell Westbrook can take over the game if LeBron's ever out. He can do a lot of similar things, and I think be a very dominant player when LeBron isn't on the court, and vice versa. I think it gives them more ability to optimize their players, give them more ability to optimize their time on the court, which for the Lakers for the past few years, it's literally been AD and LeBron, and if one's out, it's only on the other shoulders. This would change that dynamic hugely, and I think shift power more so in the direction of the Lakers in the West. I think they are going to be a big powerhouse when this deal goes through. I have not put it down and updated it in the scroller because it has not been official. However, the deal for Russell Westbrook to the Lakers is nearing completion, according to Woj. So that is something big to watch. I'm watching some of these guys come down here. Some amazing suits right here. Josh Giddey wearing an amazing purple suit. Evan Mobley, the teal blue suit. Amazing. And as cool as a cucumber or as cool as the other side of the pillow, whichever one of those is probably better, Cade Cunningham in the all black with the sunglasses attire, looking a little bit like Morpheus. A little bit like Morpheus with an afro. I like it. So yeah, we're just about 10 minutes away from the draft here. It is crazy. It is crazy to think it's already time for the NBA draft. I remember last year's draft when the Cavs drafted Isaac Okoro. That worked out great for us, by the way. Isaac Okoro is he's something, isn't he? He's something. Oh, my Cavs. My Cavs love to burn me, don't they? But hey, look. They can't do it tonight. If the Cavs find a way to mess this up somehow, because look, there's only two things that can happen. Cade Cunningham's going number 1. We know that. Number 2, Jalen Green. There's like a 90% chance Jalen Green's going to be the number 2 pick, unless someone trades up or unless Houston changes their mind. If they pick Evan Mobley at number 2, if Houston does, okay, pick Jalen Green. But knowing the Cavs, and knowing how they are, and knowing my luck, I'm going to be put in a situation where the Cavs end up drafting, again, Jonathan Kuminga. Who, we don't need Jonathan Kuminga. That is probably the last person. Look, all respect to Jonathan Kuminga, amazing athlete, much better at basketball than I will ever even think about being. But no, we don't need Jonathan Kuminga. That's not the guy who's going to change our team or help our team. Evan Mobley would be the most ideal fit because we already have 2 great guards. Our backcourt is amazing with Darius Garland and Colin Sexton. You add Evan Mobley to the mix, there's something to work with. We end up trading Kevin Love for God knows what we would do with. I don't know how we're going to trade Kevin Love. That contract's never going away. But look, there's not that much time left on his deal anyway. Okay, so yeah, but Kevin Love, that might actually get Kevin Love to play on the court because this year he was pretty productive when he was on the court. Actually, Kevin Love was pretty productive when he was on the court this year. So again, those are things to watch out for. Is what it is. We're just about 7 minutes away here. 7 minutes away here. Let's see. Let me see if I can actually make this better. Because I think my stream might be lagging a little bit. So let's see if I can fix some stuff here so that we don't have too many issues as the draft kind of goes along here. Hopefully you guys, if you haven't already, you already subscribed, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Hit that like button too, everyone. Please hit that like button. I love it when people like what I'm doing. It's great. All right. So, again, just about 5 minutes away from the NBA draft tonight live. It is an emotional time for these players. You can already see some of the emotion as I'm watching on my screen of some of these players with their families. That's always great to see. It's going to be emotional. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Again, I feel like I've been saying we'll see what happens for a long time here, but That's how it goes sometimes. Let's talk about right before we begin all doing all of this because it's about to get crazy. Things are about to happen. I just wanted to very quickly touch on, the idea of busts. I feel like, look, there's a lot of talk about, who in this draft might be a potential bust. Could Cade Cunningham be a bust? Could like, Jalen Green, even though he's battle tested in the NBA, in the G League, be a bust? I think that's unwishful thinking. That's what I like to call it. I don't think we should try to, put like players on this place where we set them up to fail. We should want them to succeed. I think there's certain players who could go to situations that might not be optimal for them. I said Jonathan Kuminga is one of those players. Jonathan Kuminga is a damn good player, could be great, but he needs to go to the right team. So I think we need to kind of change the way we kind of talk about busts and we talk about, who's going to be great, who's going to be you know, terrible, and the Darko Milicic of this draft. Like, we should not be hoping that there's going to be a Darko Milicic of this draft. Like, we should be hoping that everyone in this draft, like, is success. That's so kind of like, again, that's what's best for basketball, because the talent that is going to be distributed tonight in the draft, I think, is going to be better for the game because there's so much talent in this draft. I cannot emphasize that enough. The talent pool is amazing, and I love the fact that it's going to be spread out in the league and at a more even rate than it usually is. That's what I'm most happy and most excited to see tonight. Just the fact that the talent in the NBA is about to be spread out more so than it's been for a very long time. And we should all be excited about that. You should, don't be Cliff Kellerman. Yes, I call him Cliff Kellerman, not Max Kellerman. Don't be Stephen A. Smith and say, we should only want L.A. and New York to be good. Or we should only want L.A. and New York to be good. That's a terrible Stephen A. or Max Kellerman impression. But regardless, we should want the entire NBA to be good because we found that out in the playoffs. The playoffs this year were amazing. The best I've seen in such a long time. And the reason for that is we legitimately didn't know who was going to win. That's what makes the NBA good. The games were better. The series were better. The competition was better. And the surprises were amazing. The Hawks going to the Eastern Conference Finals, amazing. The Bucks winning the title, amazing. The Suns and the run they went on, Chris Paul to his first NBA Finals, amazing. And this draft has the chance to distribute players throughout the entire league, and a lot of these players are really good, have the chance to be great. So that's why I decided to do the stream. That's why I am just excited and happy. I'm legitimately happy about the NBA like I haven't been in a very long time. And part of that, it goes to me being a Cavs fan. Part of that legitimately just goes to me being a Cavs fan, me being cynical about everything because my team just doesn't know how to operate a franchise. So we'll see how this goes. We are 2 minutes away, dose away from the NBA draft kicking off. As I sip my water. So let me get another sip. Had to get that in there. Got to stay hydrated for this draft. It is going to be a doozy. So I got ESPN already hooked up and everything, so we'll be talking about that. Again, we're 2 minutes away. Cade Cunningham is going to be the number one pick according to Woj. The Detroit Pistons already came up to New York, they talked to Cade Cunningham apparently yesterday and said they have decided that Cade Cunningham is going to be the number one pick. They went in person and told Cade Cunningham, you will be picked number one, and that's what the Detroit Pistons are going to do. That is what we've been talking about for a long time, and look, Detroit, you got a game changer potentially on your hands with Cade Cunningham. We'll talk more about him, and everything that goes into this pick for Detroit. But Detroit has the ability, I think, to build around someone who I think has the highest upside of any player in this draft. And will he achieve it? That's to be seen. Detroit fans, y'all y'all really, really destroyed me in the comment section of a video I did way back then when I was talking about Cade Cunningham. But it is what it is. You're getting him now, so hopefully it works out. But Cade Cunningham is a very special type of player. He's got the size, the ability, and the only thing that I worry, not even worry, the only thing that I think he could improve on to become the best Cade Cunningham he can be is being more consistent when shooting the ball. If he gets that down, he is going to be an all-pro, all-star level NBA player for years to come. That is my 2 cents as we kick off this draft. I think we're just, I think they are just starting the coverage up in New York here. So we'll see what happens here. Houston, though, has apparently not made a decision yet, according to some sources. Not my sources, other people's sources. But Houston has not made a decision yet about who they're going to pick, which is interesting to hear. I think that's just a smokescreen. Unless there's a potential trade, I think it's just a smokescreen. I think Houston is going to pick Jalen Green. That seems to be not only the consensus, but also that's just the way things are going to go. It's the way things should go because I don't want them to pick Evan Mobley. The Cavs need Evan Mobley more. That's just what I think. But we'll see about that. I think the NBA draft has kicked off already. Let's see. It's 8:01 here. So here we go. Adam Silver is here, and he is announcing. That is, they have an amazing background here. They changed up the background. They got the big screen, the LED board. That looks really nice.
Having full arenas again was truly uplifting, and we can't thank you enough for standing.
Oh, they got like the NFL, how they built that big stage. They got a similar thing here, the LED stage. I love that. They're modernizing the draft. This is great. Adam Silver is still going through his spiel, so we'll let him keep talking here. Congratulating the Milwaukee Bucks, deservedly so. The Milwaukee Bucks have won the NBA championship.
The start of a new season, and a particularly special one for the league, because this is our 75th anniversary.
Another thing to note, this is the 75th anniversary of the NBA. So this is a special draft also in that way.
We'll also look ahead to the future, and that's what the draft is all about. To these young men waiting to hear their names called, congratulations on overcoming every imaginable obstacle to be here tonight. There have been fewer than 5,000.
Adam Silver still going through his spiel, so we'll let him do that. And we'll update the graphics and everything when the Detroit Pistons get on the clock. But this is a very special draft. Like I said, for anyone joining, this is a special draft, a very deep draft. Could be one of the best drafts we've ever had in the NBA. So here we go. It's official here. Now, the Detroit Pistons are on the clock here. They have 5 minutes to make their selection. I don't think it's going to be too difficult for them to make that selection. They've already confirmed it with Cade Cunningham. They went to New York. They sat down with him. They told him, you are our guy. You are the person we want to run this franchise, to lead this franchise moving forward. And it's already set in stone. I feel like we already knew it since the day that they won the lottery. Cade Cunningham was the number one prospect almost unanimously by everyone who's rated these prospects, and deservedly so. Highest upside. The athleticism is off the charts. The ability to make plays for his teammates and produce is off the charts. Cade Cunningham is going to be the number one pick. But is it? No, he is. He is. Let me not. I'm not gonna tease it like he's not. He is. Cade Cunningham will be the number one pick. Like that's I'd bet my hair, which I love so much, on that. As they're just playing the intro here. The Pistons are officially on the clock here. and they have a few minutes to make this hullabaloo. I guess they're just gonna like get their tweets and their posts ready to kind of finalize this pick. But Cade is, I'm assuming already by now, wearing his Pistons hat, has his Pistons custom Pistons jersey. I think it is all set in stone at this point. Cade Cunningham is going number one. And if you don't believe me, Woj said it. So big Woj bomb there. Yep. So they said Cade Cunningham. He's Mr. Everything. That's the thing. There's not a hole in his game. So Cade Cunningham here, likely to go number one, as they're still going. ESPN is just doing their big thing. They always like to make a big hullabaloo about this, and take it slow with these drafts. So I'm at their mercy here. That's what the NBA is at their mercy, if we're being honest, because they partner with them on these drafts. The NBA is at ESPN's mercy. So again, the Pistons are on the clock. You know, Wagner, the Pistons GM, he has changed the culture, I think, for the better, and I think Cade Cunningham is part of that culture. He's a smart person, smart guy. He's got the background. He's got, and look, I'm glad that people like Ben Wallace were involved in the process along the way. You bring in people who know basketball, who have seen basketball, these titans of your franchise past. They've said that Cade Cunningham is the guy. He should be the guy. He will be the guy, as we're just about 2 minutes away. 2 minutes away from the time elapsing. The pick isn't technically confirmed. It's not in yet, but it's in. We know it's going to be Cade Cunningham. So it's all formalities at this point. Wow. Jalen Rose, by the way, is wearing an amazing, what is that? It's like flower, like silver and black flowers. Like, that is interesting. See, they cut to a shot of Cade Cunningham with his young daughter, his father, his family. An amazing look. Jalen Green, by the way, is rocking the best afro in the NBA, the best flow, period, in the NBA. Jalen Green is a well-dressed, well-froed man. So Miles Brown also joining the draft coverage. I have no idea who that kid is. I don't know what's happening here. ESPN just has they gave some kid the camera. Either way, that's the NBA for you. That's ESPN for you. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. Get the youth involved. Get them excited. I can't believe I just said that. I'm too young to be saying that, aren't I? Either way. And they just have Cade waiting here. There's 45 seconds left. So I don't know why they just don't just get on with it. Just get on with it. Why do they have to make such a big hullabaloo? Like I said, I love the word hullabaloo, by the way. I love that word. But why do they have to make such a big thing about it? It's just, he is the guy. Just hurry up. Just do it. And they have done it. The pick is in here, so we can say that. The pick is in here at number one. We're just waiting for the announcement by Adam Silver, but the pick is in, and it will be Cade Cunningham. Man, Cade Cunningham, you got to love it. He's playing with his daughter, too. Oh, that's so nice. See, again, that's what I love, too, about the draft. It's not only the fact that some of the best players are going to go to these teams, but it's also the stories of some of these guys, like the Cade Cunningham, man. What a story. Had a daughter at like 16, 17, went to college, played balled out, and is now the number one pick. So just amazing. He's going to be the face of he could be the face of the NBA, not just the face of the franchise for the Pistons. That's another big thing to note. And again, he's spending these moments here. It's just him and his daughter. He's playing with his daughter. That is so nice. That is so nice to see Cade Cunningham. He's playing with his daughter. His daughter's got his tie, his microphone. Oh, she's got a hold of his microphone. That's so cute. That is so cute, by the way. Oh my God. You'll love to see it. You love to see it. So the pick is in here. Adam Silver about to make the announcement.
With the first pick in the 2021 NBA draft, the Detroit Pistons select Cade Cunningham.
Cade. Cade Cunningham, Oklahoma State University, going to the Detroit Pistons. And look, Cade Cunningham, he's got the combination of size and basketball IQ that makes him one of the premier players in this draft and could be in the league. He's unselfish. He's a playmaker. He doesn't always look for the shot. He looks to pass. When you think about Cade Cunningham, just think about someone who, don't think about LeBron. Think about a combination of some of the greats that are in the game. I think Jimmy Butler, but a better shooter. I think a little bit of Luka, but a little bit, but not as I would say, not as the good at fundamentals as Luka. But that being said, Cade Cunningham has amazing fundamentals. But Cade Cunningham might be one of the best prospects we've seen in a very long time. He deserves to be the number one pick. He is the number one pick, and the Detroit Pistons have now, he is the franchise. There is nothing else to be said about that. He is the franchise, and the Pistons picked the right guy. They honestly, for what the situation that they're in, they need someone who's got that ability to be that premier person, who's got the ability to uplift their teammates. And Cade Cunningham, to me, of the top three people, he does that the most. He uplifts your teammates the most. His ability to pass, make shots for his teammates, second to almost no one in this draft. And I think that he is going to be a franchise cornerstone for the Pistons. It's just amazing to see also his story. We already talked about it with his daughter, but, in his one season at Oklahoma State, he also balled out. Let's not just go past that. 45% from the field. I believe he shot up just over 40% from three-point range as well. The dude averaged 19 points, 6 rebounds. And look, the assists weren't there in college, but you could see the ball vision. You could see the passing. It was there on the tape, and it showed. Cade Cunningham also averaged almost a block per game. This guy is the most well-rounded player in the draft, and the Pistons picked the right guy. So with that said and done, that means now the Houston Rockets are on the clock. Houston Rockets are on the clock here. Houston, after trading James Harden, after trading their franchise player in James Harden, after getting rid of Russell Westbrook, they now are on the clock, and they have a chance here to select maybe the replacement from James Harden, maybe the guy who they think is going to be their franchise cornerstone. Maybe they're someone they like better than Cade Cunningham, who, again, there are a lot of players to like in this draft, but the guy that keeps coming up in conversations with the Houston Rockets, the guy who keeps coming up with conversations amongst analysts, amongst insiders, is Jalen Green when you're talking about the Rockets. Jalen Green, to me, he might be the most battle-tested player in this draft, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that he played in the G League. He was with the Ignite. He played in the G League, averaged 17 points per game in the G League on 30 minutes per game, which is really, really freaking good. He averaged 4 rebounds, almost 3 assists. So he's got a little bit of the ability to make plays away from the ball too, but his athleticism, his shot creation, and his scoring on and off the ball just make him one of the most dangerous scorers in this draft, I think. There are some places where he could probably get better, and I think he will get better, and that is, like things like, playing, playing, I guess, with more consistency. I think that's the one thing out of the G League. Maybe it was the bubble, maybe it was other factors, but I think Jalen Green has the ability to be a special player, and look, he will be. This might be, one of the deepest drafts we have ever seen here in the NBA, and it just goes to show how special some of these people are, some of these guys are, as we see my guy here, Cade Cunningham, in his Morpheus glasses and the newly minted Detroit Pistons hat. And Jalen Rose, by the way, is hyped. Jalen Rose is hyped to have Cade Cunningham as a Piston. Of course, the Detroit native, Jalen Rose. So, once again, Cade Cunningham, pick number 1. Number 2, to the Houston Rockets, likely to go here. Again, likely, we don't know yet. Likely is going to be Jalen Green. And now we can say that the pick is in. The Houston Rockets have the pick in, and we're just waiting for the announcement from the commissioner, Adam Silver, to make the pick official. Many people think it's Jalen Green. There's a possibility that there could be a trade, or maybe even Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley is an amazing franchise-changing center, but for right now, it is Jalen Green. That's the odds-on favorite. That's who I think is going to go. That's who almost everyone else thinks is going to go. But it doesn't matter what we think. It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the Houston Rockets and Daryl Morey think is best for their team. And you would think it would be Jalen Green, but there's also that possibility. Evan Mobley is a premier prospect, so I would understand that decision too. But let's take a listen to the commissioner.
In the 2021 NBA Draft, the Houston Rockets select Jalen Green.
There it is. You heard it here first. Well, yeah, you heard it here at least. But you heard it here. Jalen Green has been drafted. Yes, Jalen Green to the Houston Rockets. What a special moment this is for him. You know, his explosiveness is jaw-dropping. He has excellent lateral agility. Green's utilization of crossover, step-backs, and hesitations really makes him a special and athletic centerpiece for this Rockets franchise and for this Rockets team. I think he's got that competitive edge. He got the confidence. That confidence in Jalen Green is second to none, I think, in this draft. Jalen Green said, coming into this whole process, I'm the best player. I should go number 1. He's got the confidence, the coolness, the ability to make plays on and off the ball, which is paramount to success in this league. Jalen Green, I think the Rockets have a very, very elite piece here that could be one of the best scorers in the league one day. And it's just amazing, again, to see this. Because I'm just happy for everyone involved. It's great. It's great. The Rockets, you did something good, and you couldn't have really messed up this pick. There were not many bad things they could have done here, but Jalen Green, I mean, he doesn't. The only thing that you can really point to him is maybe a little bit of the inconsistency and turning the ball over, but that's decision making. That's something that you can get past. That's something that he can improve on, and it's not a crutch in any way. And that is like just a small critique of what is an amazing prospect and could be an elite player in this league in Jalen Green. He can be erratic at times, but he's going to Houston. They have to find a way, and they will find a way to work with him. He'll get better as he plays the game more, as he adapts to the NBA. He will. Jalen Green is going to be great. So, with that, the second pick has come and gone, and that means my Cleveland Cavaliers are on the clock. And right there, you see the best centers. Evan Mobley, bring it home. Let's go. I've been waiting years for Cleveland to get a game changer, a playmaker, a franchise-changing player in one of these drafts. The last person we got in one of these drafts that was a true franchise changer was Kyrie Irving. I think that we could get someone in the similar vein of him now. Plays a different position, grant you, but a very similar impact he could have as far as the what it means to the franchise in Evan Mobley. That is who I want. That is who everyone in Cleveland wants. That is what Cavs fans everywhere want. That is what the consensus is. And somehow, yet, I am concerned that we are going to mess this up somehow and take Jonathan Kuminga. If we take Jonathan Kuminga, I might lose it on this stream. So watch out. Who knows what could happen with Dan Gilbert at the helm. Cavs are still on the clock. I have Evan Mobley going here. He is the only pick for Cleveland. Dan, he's the only pick for Cleveland. This is the only person that can go here. He's the only person that should go here. And he's the only person that people from Cleveland Cavs fans want to go here. So, again, Dan, You literally cannot mess this up. And if you find a way to, you're gonna see a lot of frustrated Cavs fans on the internet and on NBA Twitter tonight and on this stream. But we'll see. The pick is in. All right, it's the moment of truth for Cleveland. The pick for the Cavs is officially in. Fingers crossed here for Evan Mobley. Fingers crossed more so than they've ever been, because if we find a way to mess this up, I might stop watching basketball. We can't, though. It's Evan Mobley. It has to be Evan Mobley. There's literally, like, Jalen Suggs, but we already have great. We need a franchise-changing center. He's right there. Just pick him. Come on. I got enough faith in Cleveland that they won't mess this up. I got enough faith in them for this.
He's going to be like a just add water type highlight reel for your squad. He's the type of guy, and I love that trait, cash rules.
Cash rules. I like that trait. I do like that.
Points in the G League playoff game. He went to the G League to get his $500,000. You talked about his IG followers, so again, he's going to be a spectacular prospect for your. He's going to
As the pick is in here, I'm still waiting for Adam Silver to come and say something. Oh dear, here it is, the Cavs. The pick is in. The commissioner is on his way. Come on. Come on.
The Cleveland Cavaliers select Evan Mobley.
Yes! Yes! Evan Mobley is a Cleveland Cavalier. It's coming home, baby. It's coming home. This is without a doubt an amazing pick for the Cavs. Evan Mobley is now a Cleveland Cavalier. There couldn't have gone wrong. The combination of his length, athleticism, his fluidity, and his play make him the best big man prospect in this draft. He's unusually comfortable defending even smaller players. Mobley has an impeccable fundamentals. He's got the athleticism, as I mentioned. The only thing he could get better at, and he can only get better, is shooting the ball. If he figures out a way to shoot, if Evan Mobley figures out a way to shoot and improve there, it's going to be a fun time in the Cleveland Cavaliers organization for the next few years, because this guy is the best center, the best big man, for me, he was the second best player in this draft, but the second best upside of anyone in this draft. When you think of Mobley, think Rasheed Wallace, think maybe a Chris Bosh level type of player if he can get better at shooting. You know, his mechanics are sound, and that's why I expect him to kind of get better. But we'll see about that. You know, he's I think one of the best defenders. He averaged 3 blocks in at USC. So there's so much to build on with this pick. And Cleveland, you have 2 really good guards in Darius Garland and Colin Sexton. Maybe you trade Kevin Love, get some pieces there. Maybe we'll see what happens with him. But these 3 players, Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, and Evan Mobley, moving forward, this could be a very dangerous trio, and this could be a game-changing trio for them. I'm excited, so happy. We finally got someone worth something, and this is the only way the Cavs know how to build through the draft, but we've messed it up so many times that, yes, this pick gave me anxiety. Let's keep going, though. Now, on the clock, excuse me, we got the wrong thing right there, but on the clock now are the Toronto Raptors. So the Raptors, there we go. The Raptors are on the clock here. Toronto Raptors are on the clock, and look, there's a few places they could go here, but I think the way they probably should go is picking Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs, to me, fits the best on this team. He has the ability to not only learn, but also make an impact immediately on a team that I think could be a playoff team next year. If Pascal Siakam gets better, if you got people like Lowry who are still there for him to learn under, you have others like Van Fleet. There's a lot to build on in Toronto, and this year, getting that 4th overall pick, if they get Jalen Suggs has the ability to be elite. That's the thing about a lot of these players. They have the ability to be elite players. There's so many. in the top even 10 that have the ability to be very good to great to elite players. And Jalen Suggs, rather, is one of those players. I think the best fit for him would be to go to Toronto. And, again, Toronto's a team. He might get some playoff experience early. And a few years down the line when he develops, even a year or two, I think Jalen Suggs and Toronto Raptors could be in title contention once again. Because Masai Ujiri, he's going to make the moves. Nick Nurse is a great coach, and it's dependent on a few things. Now it's dependent on, if it is Suggs, it's dependent on his development, but also Pascal Siakam. We've been waiting for a while to see Pascal Siakam make that next move, make that move to being a more elite player. It's dependent on that as well. We can't discount that. So we'll see. They're still on the clock, but again, conventional wisdom would tell you it is Jalen Suggs. That is what conventional wisdom would tell you. So we're still waiting here. And after this, you got the Magic, and that's going to be a very interesting whole scenario to play out. Do the Magic go with Kuminga? Do they potentially try to get someone like Scotty Barnes? Do they try to get someone like Franz Wagner? That's where you'll see the dominoes fall. At number 5, you'll see where the dominoes are going to fall, and where some of these players who you're just waiting to see what order they fall in. That's when that's going to happen. So we'll see. Maybe a James Bouknight. Sorry, Bouknight, not Boogie Night. Yes, James Bouknight. But pick is in here for Toronto. So we'll take a listen whenever Adam Silver is ready to go up to the podium. We will take a listen to that. But the pick is in for Toronto here. Let's take a listen. Whoa! That's a deviation from a lot of what a lot of people thought. That's a deviation from what I thought. Scotty Barnes is going to the Toronto Raptors. So, again, Scotty Barnes, 10 points last year at Florida State, 4 rebounds a game, 4 assists, another very well-rounded player. And what this could mean is you could see now some other dominoes fall. Jalen Suggs now is on the board here for the Magic, but Scotty Barnes, the size and the length suggest that he should play off the ball, but he's got the ability to be a playmaker in this league. He is one of those prospects who is a bit of a diamond in the rough kind of guy. If you can develop him in the right way, he can be, I think, an impactful player on their team. And I guess that's what they're hoping for. I guess they want him to play the wing in Toronto. They thought that might be the best fit. They might not be ready to move on from Kyle Lowry now. That's also might be why this is the pick here. You think Scotty Barnes, think someone like Justice Winslow. I do think that is an apt comparison for him. He's got great defensive upside. The motor is amazing. Could he be a better shooter? Yeah, but is that why they're bringing him in? Probably not. They probably think Scotty Barnes is someone who's going to come in immediately and help them defensively in the East. So a bit of a perplexing pick here. A lot of people, myself included, had Suggs going here. Not so much the case for Toronto, who ended up ultimately making that pick. Amazing. Now, with that being said, the Magic are on the clock, and now if you're the Magic, this changes a few things, because before this, you didn't really know if Jalen Suggs was going to be on the clock, but if Jalen Suggs is there and if he's on the board, I think you would think that the Magic would have to take Jalen Suggs here at number 5. That would have to be the pick. I just don't know who else it would be, right? They would just, the NBA draft, you are insane. But we'll see. Let me just do this. I probably should have been doing this the whole time, but let me just update the draft order a little bit here. But Cade Cunningham, as I said, went number 1. And then we had Jalen Green go number 2. And again, it wasn't a surprise until we got to that number 4 spot. That number 4 spot was when we saw the big surprise of Scotty Barnes, who was someone who many thought could rise in this draft, but I don't think anyone thought he was going to rise as high as Toronto. Scotty Barnes to Toronto, it shows you that the Raptors, they might not be ready to move on as quickly as we thought from Kyle Lowry. So, again, the NBA draft, it's full of surprises. All drafts are. That's what it is, guys. If you haven't already, remember to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. We're growing by the day, and it all thanks to your support. So thank you all for watching. The Orlando Magic now are on the clock, and if you're Orlando, I think it's only a matter of time now before someone picks Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs, to me, is he's one of those can't miss prospects. I think Jalen Suggs has the ability to be elite. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, that really threw me. That threw a wrench at me and my prediction for this, because I very wholeheartedly believed that Jalen Suggs to Toronto was going to be a huge fit for them, because there was so much talk about Kyle Lowry potentially being traded. And, even if he's not, wouldn't you want the young guy to come in and learn behind, someone like Kyle Lowry? But evidently that is not the route that they took, and that's fine. That is fine. But we'll see what happens here, as the Magic are still on the clock. The pick is not officially in as of now, and maybe the Magic are going to be taking a little bit of time. It would behoove them to take their time here with this pick to maybe think about what else is available here. Maybe the Magic are in a situation where they trade down. Or maybe Scotty Barnes was part of a trade this whole time. That's the NBA draft. Who knows? Who freaking knows? Maybe Scotty Barnes was part of a trade. Maybe the Magic, well, who knows? Ugh. The NBA. What a time. So we'll see. But 59 seconds and counting, and the Orlando Magic have still not made their selection. So that could be a sign that there might be a trade. That could be a sign. NBA Twitter has not updated me on that as of yet, but we'll see. Yeah, so again, Scotty Barnes to the Toronto Raptors, which means it opens it up for Jalen Suggs to end up being in Orlando Magic. And if that's the case, man, Orlando just got a baller. Orlando just got a whole hell of a lot better, and that Vucevic trade from last year looks a lot better now. Let's see. No word yet on any trades. Again, that Lakers trade has yet to be confirmed, but we'll have to see. Again. No word yet on a trade. Nothing's been said, so this might not even be a trade. Scotty Barnes might have just been the guy. That might have just been the person that they wanted at that time. And look, Scotty Barnes is a great player, great upside, great ability. He's going to help them out. That is true. So we're still waiting here on the Magic to confirm their pick. They have not said if the pick is in yet, so we're going to wait on that. And while you're waiting, guys, remember to hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe so you get notified whenever a new video is released. And now we can officially say that the pick is in. So the Orlando Magic pick is in. Here is Adam Silver.
The 2021 NBA Draft. The Orlando Magic select Jalen Suggs.
There you go. That's the pick. That is the pick in Jalen Suggs, and it kind of had to be. Especially when we saw Scotty Barnes go to the Toronto Raptors. So, getting big pick here by them. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right, sorry, I had to pull something up, but yeah. So that was it. Jalen Suggs now is not a Raptor. He is in Orlando Magic. He's going to be playing ball in Florida for years to come. And the Orlando Magic, I think, got one of the more special players and one of the more leadership type players in this draft in Jalen Suggs. So Jalen Suggs now going to the Orlando Magic. The two traits that are immediately on display for him are the competitiveness, the athleticism. He is an elite athlete that has amazing explosiveness. He averaged only 13 points or 14 points per game, but he was well-rounded, 5 rebounds per game, almost 5 assists per game as well. The guy was shooting the ball at 50%, really high efficiency. Reminds me a bit of Ja Morant. I think he has the ability to even be a better scorer than Ja Morant. I think he's got tremendous upside, the athleticism, like I said, the speed, the agility, the ability to get around players is off the charts when you're talking about someone like Jalen Suggs. And what he did with Gonzaga, taking them to the championship, eventually losing to Davion Mitchell, but taking them there showed that he has that, not only the competitive drive, but the leadership qualities you want out of your first round pick. And the Orlando Magic got a lot of flack for their Vucevic trade, for blowing it up, but this could be the first step, I think, of them building something special. They also hold the 8th pick. Franz Wagner has been a noted player that could go there. So you don't know, but the Orlando Magic, I think, are on their way back, and there's not a better place to start than here with Jalen Suggs, the prospect out of Gonzaga. He is a special guy. I cannot emphasize it enough. With that, the Thunder are on the clock, and I have to go to the bathroom. I will be right back. Guys, don't go anywhere. I will leave you with the audio of something. Jalen Suggs just said the sky is the limit. Damn right, I'm back, and I washed my hands. It's all good. But yeah, the sky is the limit for Orlando. They got arguably a top 4 prospect. It definitely, I think, probably the biggest. I think they got the biggest leadership guy in this draft in Jalen Suggs. As for as young as he is, and to be as good and driven as he is a special quality, and to the ability to lift his teammates as he does and as he did for Gonzaga was special. Jalen Suggs is going to help build something special in Orlando. And remember, they also hold that 8th overall pick. Orlando is looking like a player here. It might not be next season, but talk to me a few seasons from now. They could be real ballers down in Orlando. So that's something. Eat more cherries, people. Cherries are damn good. All right, as we come up here, and now the OKC Thunder. The OKC Thunder are on the clock here. And now the Thunder are basically in the very similar position as I think they thought they would be in. Scotty Barnes might have been someone that they thought could fall to them. Definitely not Jalen Suggs, but I think the pick here is going to be Bouknight. I think James Bouknight has to be the pick. They got to get better here. I think he would be a very good pairing with SGA. I think, I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a great piece to build around, and you put James Bouknight with him, that's going to be good. Maybe even Kuminga. I think this could potentially be a good place for Kuminga to go, because Jonathan Kuminga could kind of be that lockdown defender type of role, and then you have SGA kind of doing his thing. And look, if any talk of them trading Gilgeous-Alexander, stop it. They should not trade him. Like that he is a guy I think you try to build around. At least in my opinion, he's that type of good, really damn good player. As we continue here with the draft here, is such a huge pick in Jalen Suggs, by the way. Cannot emphasize that enough. Will not stop emphasizing that enough. But we also have another huge pick coming in as the pick is in for OKC. And the Thunder, they traded away Westbrook a few years ago. They blew it all up 2 years ago with that trade for Paul George as well. So a lot of things were changing. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander really helped things out and really showed a path forward for next season. I think he's going to play a big role moving forward, and whoever they pick here is obviously going to play a huge role in the franchise and the direction they take moving forward. And it all depends on who that is. Is it going to be James Bouknight, Jonathan Kuminga? This is where you really see the dominoes start to fall. Regardless of what I'm saying, the pick is in. Let's take a listen.
With the sixth pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Josh Giddey.
Whoa! Whoa! My guy, Josh Giddey! Whoa! Josh Giddey went top 6? Josh Giddey went top 6! Josh Giddey. Everyone should be happy, giddy, and proud. The pride of Australia, Josh Giddey, just went number 6 overall to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you just got a good one playing with you. This dude is ambidextrous. He's got the size, the playmaking ability. He's 6'8". He's a difficult matchup for anyone. I think he has some of the best passing ability in this draft, arguably the best playmaker as far as getting the ball in the hands of his teammates. But he's also got a good shooting mechanics, and he's got the ability to get better. I cannot emphasize this enough. Josh Giddey played for the 36ers in Australia in the NBL. I hope this could be part of a trade. I hope it's not, because this guy, man, when you talk about the feel for the game, the straight ability to drive, the rebounding, he is literally, I said it before, I will say it again. Josh Giddey, if you're looking at the Lonzo Ball or the Ball brothers, he's better than Lonzo, but not quite the shooter that LaMelo is. He is that midpoint between those two Ball brothers, and I think he has the ability to get better as a shooter, which just makes him crazy, because he didn't do all that much shooting. He was a pass-first type of point guard in Australia. Him being 6'8" too, having the athleticism that he does, I think makes him just a great pickup here. We don't know if this is going to be the pick. I hope it is. There might be a trade, but man, this guy is special, and I am very happy for him. He was my guy. This was the guy that I thought was most excited to see where he went. I'm glad he's going to build something there in Oklahoma City. I'm very glad. I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander should also be very happy. And no, look, they make some big time plays down there, down under. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm so happy to see Josh Giddey go here. I'm giddy to see Giddey go here. It's so crazy. Andrew Bogut, out of here. Best Australian ever to be drafted. Josh freaking Giddey. Amazing. This is what the NBA draft is all about. The spectacle, the surprises, the pageantry. Man, it's crazy to see that. It's crazy to see that, though. Again, I'm actually gonna look up if this is potentially part of a trade, because this, I don't know, them picking him this high might be part of a trade, but if it's not, I'm happy. I'm happy for him, because Josh Giddey was genuinely one of my favorite players coming out. Doesn't look like it. Nothing so far. I will update you guys if it is, but again, he is an amazing guard. He is amazing. Like he's just he has the ability to be so good, guys. So good. Please remember this name, Josh Giddey. Watch him in OKC. Watch him and what SGA do. It's going to be really special. With that, though, Giddy off the board early. James Bouknight still on the board. The Golden State Warriors are on the clock. And now the question becomes, do the Warriors try to get that wing defender in Jonathan Kuminga, which I think conventional wisdom would tell you he is the pick here? Do they go for him? Or do they potentially try to go for Franz Wagner and maybe let him kind of settle into that role? That's the huge question here. I think Kuminga is probably the best fit for them. Assuming that Klay Thompson's injury rehab goes well, Steph Curry is going to be back there. They're going to have they're going to have Wiseman as well. This is a team that I think offensively is going to be fine. I think defensively they could use some help, especially in that East. But the two names that I keep thinking, again, they're wings, are Franz Wagner and Jonathan Kuminga. The reason I lean Jonathan Kuminga for this specific pick, one, because I think there's going to be a little bit of a reach here. Not so much a reach. There's going to be a desire, rather, for them to get someone who is battle tested like Kuminga is when he was with the Ignite in the G League. So that might play a part into this. Franz Wagner, by the way, also just an amazing player. I want that to be known. I think Franz Wagner is amazing. He is the pride of Germany. He went to the University of Michigan, played very well there. But those are the two players I'm watching here as we come down to 22 seconds here on the Golden State Warriors pick. They have not sent the pick in yet, so that's an interesting thing to note here. But I think it's Kuminga. I genuinely think it's Kuminga, and I do think that he can flourish. I think him going to Golden State gives him the best chance to be the best Jonathan Kuminga he can be, and that's what I want to see. I want to see these players go to places where they can excel. So, with that being said, the pick is now in for the Golden State Warriors. Their time has elapsed, and the pick is in. So, it has to be Kuminga. It has to be Kuminga. It has to be Kuminga. I will keep saying, because I love saying the name Jonathan Kuminga, too. Kuminga is a fun-ass name to say. Yeah. So if you guys haven't already, though, and while Adam Silver makes his way to the podium, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Here we go. Adam Silver at the podium.
With the 7th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Jonathan Kuminga.
There we go. I said it. Had to be him. It had to be Kuminga. And the emotion obviously on the face of Jonathan Kuminga. The Warriors have now selected Jonathan Kuminga from the G League, from the Congo. Kuminga's strength and burst make him an excellent driver. When he gets to the rim, he is nearly impossible to stop. This guy is amazing. And I think, look, when you think Kuminga, think Tobias Harris, think a little bit of Michael Kidd-Gilchrist too, especially in his ability to defend. I think he consistently makes very good decisions. He's a very consistent player, high motor type of player, which I like, and I think he's going to fit the Warriors team the best. So, let's focus on that. He is going to help this team immediately, and they're going to need him. They're really going to need him and his ability to drive, his ability to defend in the in the West, because the West is really, really full of good players. You got Luka, LeBron, Russell Westbrook possibly on his way to the West. Kawhi, obviously. This, for the Golden State Warriors, was a pick they had to make to even the playing field with a lot of those Western Conference teams, because while their offense is great, and if God willing, if Klay Thompson comes back and is playing great, they're going to need someone with that versatility defensively, with the ability to attack the rim and focus that. Kuminga is that guy. The pressure is off of him as well. He has more ability to flourish and work here. I think this is great. I think this is a great pick. I genuinely, so far, I like all of the picks that have been made. I think that these players have, for the most part, gone to the right places. Scotty Barnes was a player that I thought might have been that was a weird pick for me. I'm not going to lie to the Raptors, but so far, other than that, I think everyone has gone to good situations. And as Josh Giddey surprised me, cannot lie. That pick definitely did surprise me, but I'm excited about that. I'm excited about Josh Giddey and Sean and Alexander getting to play together. It's going to be amazing. With that, we are back to the Magic. The Magic are once again on the clock here. The Orlando Magic, with their first pick, they went in and got Jalen Suggs, who I think they didn't maybe expect to be there. Now you get Jalen Suggs, who's the point guard, who's a bit of a flex guard. Now do you go for the wing in Franz Wagner? Franz Wagner is a guy. He's from Germany. He played ball at the University of Michigan. This is a guy who's got a lot of versatility. Again, a lot of well-rounded players in this entire draft. Not like you don't see a lot of these players who are like leaning on like one or two aspects of their game. Like a lot of these players are just really freaking good. So we'll see where that goes. Franz Wagner again. Pride of University of Michigan. What a day. What a night. What a time. What a cherry. I'm sorry. I know eating during live streams is frowned upon. But you got to get a little snack in every time. Anyway, the pick is in here. And again, Franz Wagner to me would have to be the pick. I think he's a very versatile defender. He's improved a lot since he came into college, since before his college days at University of Michigan. I think Franz Wagner is arguably the guy here. Or not inarguably. I would say inarguably the guy here. So we'll see. Like he actually might be one of the best, like, I guess, you know, high IQ guys in this draft. Like I think his basketball IQ is off the charts, and his ability to see things is really good too. But we'll find out in just a few minutes, or just a few seconds, you would think, as the pick is already in here for Orlando. Jonathan Kuminga, you got to be happy for him too. And the pick is in here. Let's take a listen. There it is. There it is. Franz Wagner. It had to be him. Had to be Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner from Germany and the University of Michigan. Wagner is a versatile defender who has made massive leaps as far as getting better at his footwork, getting better at his fundamentals. He's been a better off the ball dribbler. You know, the thing is about him, his awareness, his basketball IQ, his ability to see things on the court. He is a player that is going to be able to immediately make an impact by the way he plays the ball and the way he positions the ball and passes the ball. He's like one of those guys. He's almost never going to make a bad decision. He doesn't really turn the ball over. This guy has the ability, I think, even be a high scorer as well. You know, the good feel for the game is good. The thing that's probably going to hinder him, or not even hinder him, I don't even think Franz Wagner is an amazing prospect. The thing that's probably going to be called out at least a lot is his ability or his lack of explosiveness. He's someone who probably relies more so on fundamentals than he does raw athletic explosiveness. But I think with that, with what he has as far as his fundamentals, with his footwork, I think he's going to be just fine in the NBA. He's going to transition well. And look, he's going to the team in the Magic that now have Jalen Suggs. They might even have Markelle Fultz back as a good piece. They are building something there. They are building something good down there in Orlando. And I think getting these two prospects, getting these two amazing players is going to help them build something special for years to come. That trade with Chicago for Vucevic is looking better and better by the minute. By the minute. And with that, we have the Sacramento Kings on the clock. And some things have changed here. Some circumstances have changed. James Bouknight, someone we thought would be off the board right now at OKC at number 6. That's where I had him going. He's available. Jalen Johnson is available. Josh Giddey is off the board now, but you have other people. Keon Johnson. Maybe they go center. I don't know why they would. Maybe they go center here. Who knows? God knows. I don't know. This proves how much I know. I know a great deal. They're not going to go center. I will say this. I think Alperen is probably going to go 11 to the Hornets. Need to hydrate. But yeah. So again, with that, I'll just read out the draft order as we have it right now. Cade Cunningham went 1 to Detroit. Houston picked Jalen Green at 2. 3, Cleveland picked Evan Mobley. 4, Scotty Barnes went to Toronto. 5, Jalen Suggs to Orlando. 6, in a huge surprise in his first round, my guy, the person who I think was going to be the gem, one of the steals of this draft, Josh Giddey, went number 6 overall to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Jonathan Kuminga went 7 to the Golden State Warriors, and the Orlando Magic just picked Franz Wagner from the University of Michigan to round out their 2 first-round picks of this draft. No trades announced as of yet. I'll update you guys if we have any, but up next are the Sacramento Kings, and look, they got Bagley. So you would think that maybe they want to fill out that wing position, so I think Jalen Johnson is a guy who is going to be in the conversation here. James Bouknight, who a lot of people had going to the Thunder, he potentially could be in the conversation here. I think he is a guy to watch. So a lot of things that could happen. We'll see what will happen. We don't know. I don't know. Only people that do know are sitting in Sacramento, California right now. The eyes of the NBA are finally on the Kings. God bless them. Wow, what a night. This draft is so good. I can't emphasize it enough. It's such a good draft. I'm so excited. So happy for these guys too. So happy for you guys too. If you subscribed and hit that like button, please help out the channel. Help us grow. Hit that like button. Hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. As we are entering 50 seconds here left on the clock here for the Sacramento Kings to make their selection. The pick is not in as of yet. We expect it to be in fairly shortly. Yeah. Who do I have going here? Let's see. I'm going to stick with Jalen Johnson. Bouknight to me is, I think, probably one of the best players available at this point. But he is, for me, the best player available right now. But I think Jalen Johnson would be the best fit here for the Kings. I think he would make the most immediate impact here as the pick is in now. We can finally say that. So I would say the Kings should probably go in that direction. It's going to be interesting to see what Memphis does right after this pick, because Memphis, the Grizzlies have to pick right after here, and who knows what they're thinking. They probably thought that Josh Giddey was going to be on the board there at number 10, but alas, he's not. So who knows? If they go Jalen Johnson here to the Kings, maybe they pick Bouknight. Maybe it works out. Let's take a listen. Whoa! So there we go, Davion Mitchell. So here's this. Oh man, this is interesting. A very interesting thing from the national championship to the NBA. Davion Mitchell has gone number 9 overall to the Sacramento Kings. And look, Davion Mitchell was a guy that people thought was going to go higher than this. He was projected to be a top 5 pick in this process a while ago. That changed over time. He was one of these prospects that fell. Mitchell, he's refined his shot, turned into an excellent shooter. He can play away from the ball, run off screens, shoot off the catch. This guy is really good, guys, but when you think about him, he's got the ability to be really good, but can he get over some of his weaknesses? He lacks that creative playmaking that someone like a Cade Cunningham has. He lacks the ability to be a rebounder like some of these other players have. That being said, at the University of Baylor during this national championship run. 13 points, don't and 5.6 assists. Sorry, bit tongue tied. 5.6 assists, 13 points. He shot 50% from the field, 46% from three. The free throw shooting right around 70%. He's got to improve on that. But Davion Mitchell has some raw ability here that I think is going to make him a special athlete, a special player for whoever gets him. And, whoever got him, and that is the Sacramento Kings, who did get him. Davion Mitchell has been picked, and he is going to Sacramento. Him and Marvin Bagley are going to be an interesting combination to watch here for the next few years. So, yeah, Davion Mitchell, someone who I thought personally was going to fall, out of the lottery potentially, goes in number 9 here. So, with that, so officially the Pelicans are on the clock, but the Memphis Grizzlies traded for this pick. So, the Memphis Grizzlies are essentially, this is their pick. So, the Memphis Grizzlies here are having let me rephrase that. The New Orleans Pelicans here are picking for the Memphis Grizzlies. So, essentially, the Memphis Grizzlies are on the clock. So they have about 3 minutes to finalize whatever the pick that's going to be. Yeah, so, and with that being said, this opens up a lot of things here. James Bouknight could be on his way to Memphis. I think James Bouknight paired with John Morant. James Bouknight and John Morant could be a very dangerous combination for the NBA. I don't think the East is ready for that. If I'm being honest, like John Morant already was a handful for a lot of players. You add James Bouknight. You add Bouknight and his ability to score, his ability to play off the ball. I think that's big. James Bouknight might be the most ready to play explosive scorer in this draft. He averaged 20 points per game. 20 points per game at UConn. This guy is ready. Can't say any more than that. He is ready. And look, Memphis is making the pick here. So if they pick him, they're going to get some immediate scoring, help out that young core in Memphis immediately. His off the ball scoring, I think, is second to none. He's very unique. This is a very unique player. I think he's a player you kind of need on your team if you're going to compete. You're going to need that automatic scoring in your rotation. Now, obviously, he might be a bit of a defensive liability, but I think he's kind of he cancels out what he might take away defensively, does James Bouknight. But we'll see. Again, New Orleans is making the pick here for Memphis. This player, whoever's picked here, will end up going to Memphis. That's why I have Memphis's logo down there. So, because of a trade that sent Valanciunas actually to New Orleans and Steven Adams as well as Eric Bledsoe to Memphis. So, again, there's got a lot to build on in Memphis here. They got some veterans, and I think picking James Bouknight here would be big for them. Huge pick it could be for them. But let's see. The pick is in here.
With the 10th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Zaire Williams.
Whoa! So that's a bit of a monkey wrench thrown my way, or at least this way. So Zaire Williams. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. Zaire Williams, you heard it here, going to Memphis by way of New Orleans, which means James Bouknight, the person who I thought was going to be very good, going to go higher than I thought a lot of people thought, is still on the board. Zaire Williams, good player. Good player, but damn, that interesting. I did not think that was going to be the pick here. This is crazy. The NBA is wild, people. The NBA is wild. So Zaire Williams, who I had, where did I have him going? I had Zaire Williams going. I had him going 22. I had Zaire Williams going 22 to LA. So Zaire Williams. Okay, cool. Zaire Williams there. Interesting. I guess that means that Memphis, I think they could have just gotten a better player in Book Knight. I think Book Knight was going to be a better scorer for them. But Zaire Williams, he's a bit raw, but he's got some similar attributes to him with Book Knight. I think he's got the ability to score. He might be a better facilitator, but again, this is one that I'm genuinely a little bit perplexed by. I'm genuinely a little bit perplexed by this pick. You would. I don't want to say I don't like it because I think Zaire Williams has good upside, but I just think with Book Knight on the board, that was the pick for Memphis. But I guess it wasn't. I guess it wasn't their pick, or I guess it wasn't their guy. Interesting. Either way, congratulations to Zaire Williams, though. I want to say that. Congratulations to Zaire Williams. Deserves it. Deserves it. Definitely deserves it. And again, this is a deep draft. They are not too many bad picks. Zaire Williams, by the way, he's about to go play with John Morant, and he seems to be happy about it. I'm happy for him. I think him and John Morant could be a lethal combination together. Interesting. Very interesting pick there. So with that being said, the New Orleans, sorry, not New Orleans Hornets. They've been gone for years. The Charlotte Hornets. That shows my age, doesn't it? The Charlotte Hornets are on the clock. Last year, they picked Melo Ball. They got that franchise-changing guard in Melo Ball, in LaMelo Ball, and now they have the ability to get, honestly, another primetime scorer in James Book Knight. But with that being said, do they maybe go the Jalen Johnson route? Moses Moody is on the board. Keon Johnson is on the board. So there's a lot of ways to go here. If I were them, I think James Book Knight and LaMelo Ball on the same team at the same time that would be very big for Charlotte. That would change a lot of the stuff they've been doing. I think that the Charlotte Hornets, it would behoove them to pick Book Knight. Book Knight should not be falling as much as he is right now. Like, I had him going at 6, and we're at pick number 11 now. Can't write this stuff, though. Can't write this stuff. Yeah. Pick has to be Book Knight. Because that backcourt would be sublime. That backcourt would be OP if Book Knight is the pick here. That being said, I also could see them go Jalen Johnson. I think Jalen Johnson is also a tight player. I think he's a good player. Man, Josh Giddey, though, going to number 6. I didn't see it coming, but I'm so happy it happened. As I'm running through my notes here. I have so many notes about this draft that I've compiled and also stolen from websites. But they're my notes and my research. Anyway. Yeah, also, Usman Garuba. He's also a special prospect, I think. I think that's a guy to watch out for. You know, I think he should probably go to a team like the Heat. Probably a team that has something built. I think he could be a big game changer for one of those teams. Jalen Johnson is someone who I have very, very high expectations for. Because I think he's one of those make or break players. Like, he's one of those, like, he could be very good, but also, who knows? Like the athleticism is off the charts. I think he does exactly what you want he does exactly what you want your big power forward to do, rebounding, shot blocking, and the rest. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Sometimes it's he could be a bit inconsistent. Also, the turnovers didn't help either, but we'll see. There's so much to do, so much to see as we enter the tens of this draft, as we are already in the tens of this draft. So I think Hornets pick is in now. The Hornets pick is in. So the Charlotte Hornets have already have already decided on who they're going to pick. We'll see who that is in just a second. And I really hope it's Book Knight. I hope it's James Book Knight. That's the only pick that makes sense here. I mean, or it makes the most sense. I could see them going for a wing. I also could see them potentially going for a center here. I think Alperen Sengun, that guy from Turkey. I'm sorry, I definitely botched his name there. I think he might actually. It's him or Book Knight. It's him or Book Knight because getting a center for them is important to pair with LaMelo Ball, but getting that back, but that backcourt would be so good with Book Knight. It's not even funny. It is not even funny how good that backcourt would be. But let's see. Let's see. As the pick is still hasn't been announced yet, but Book Knight has to be the pick, right? You would think. I don't know. I've said that a few times, haven't I? But I want it to be Book Knight. I think he's great. The Hornets haven't won a playoff series since 2002. The surprising part of what they just said was the Hornets won a playoff series. I didn't even realize they won a playoff series. Love y'all in Charlotte, by the way. As I'm watching this intently, I'm trying to. They just aren't announcing anything. They just aren't announcing anything. I'm waiting. I'm sitting here waiting for them to finally announce this pick, and they haven't announced it yet. This has been very slow, meticulously slow here. Have the NBA been about these picks? But the pick again is in here. I think you either go center or Book Knight since he's on the board. Let's take a listen. That backcourt is about to be so OP with James Book Knight and LaMelo Ball joining forces now in Charlotte. That is going to be one of the biggest game changers this season. I think Book Knight for me was arguably the best plug and play scorer in this draft. I think he's going to be ready day one. He's got some things to improve on. He can be a little bit of a liability on defense sometimes. He has to improve, I think, with a little bit more consistency. And I think that'll come for him with the feel of the game, playing with someone like LaMelo Ball, having that pressure kind of off of him sometimes. But I think these are two players who are going to thrive with each other on the court, and LaMelo Ball has to be happy about this pick. You have to be, because they got a steal here in Book Knight. They got a real steal that Charlotte with Book Knight. Big ups to him. Big ups to Charlotte. I'm very proud of him going here. Amazing that pick, though. And now we move on to Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs. And this is where some interesting things could take place, because you don't really know where the Spurs are going to go. They could end up taking someone like Alperen Sengun. I think that's how you say his name. The center out of Turkey. He's a very good prospect, 7 feet tall, good center prospect. He averaged, I think, like 7 rebounds a game. He was pretty good. Other than that, Keon Johnson is still on the board. You still got Moses Moody. There's a bunch of players that could be taken here. What a crazy draft this has been. But isn't every draft crazy? That's just how it be. I'm really happy to see James Book Knight, though. So, I think Pop is actually going to take Keon Johnson here. That's who I think he's going to take, because I think Keon Johnson is just he's a little bit more of the Spurs kind of mold. Although you want to pair him with DeRozan, I think it's either going to be Johnson or Alperen, the center out of Turkey. Those are the only really two players I could see. Corey Kispert, maybe. Corey Kispert, maybe. You could see Kispert from Gonzaga go here. Miles McBride, maybe. Good point guard out of. Oh man, Book Knight looks really happy. He looks really happy. You can see the emotion on his face. Zaire Williams, though, that was definitely for me the biggest surprise. Well, Josh Giddey was a surprise, but I also thought very highly of him. Zaire Williams, though, big, huge surprise of this draft. Zaire Williams before Trey Mann. That's interesting to me. That is interesting to me. Zaire Williams before Trey Mann. That is... Ugh. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest with you. Don't know how I feel.
Let's check in from Malika to another draft correspondent here with ABC, Miles Brown. What up, Miles?
Hey, y'all, see, I'm here, and I told y'all I was going to give y'all all the exclusive behind the scenes footage. See, I'm here, and look what I found. I seen Woj live in effect giving away his Woj alert. See, I told y'all, and this man is a hard worker. See, I'm
He's got a Woj. Woj has a Woj list, apparently.
so look at him, y'all. He's going crazy in the back. I'm watching, I'm looking at him. You know what I'm saying? He's going crazy. So I'll catch y'all later. I'm going to give y'all some more alerts. Let's go.
Miles, appreciate you there behind the scenes.
Book Knight is so happy, and I'm so happy for him. He's gonna be so good. He's gonna be so good. Ugh, I said that about everyone, but they're all so good. That's what makes this draft so great.
The Lakers and Wizards have completed a blockbuster.
There we go.
Russell Westbrook, former MVP, is on his way to LA.
So Woj has confirmed it. Has confirmed it. That is, oh my God, that is a huge trade, by the way, for those who are just joining or are just hearing about this. An amazing trade was just made. So that Lakers trade for Russell Westbrook has been confirmed now. 100% we can confirm it. Russell Westbrook has been traded to the... as my voice is starting to go away at the worst possible time. The Lakers have acquired Russell Westbrook for Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, KCP, and their 2021 first-round pick, which I believe is 22 overall. All of that going the Wizards' way. Russell Westbrook coming home to Southern California, joining forces with LeBron James, joining forces with AD, joining forces with the Los Angeles Lakers organization, and it's such a huge move because this puts the Lakers in that position of being, again, one of those premier teams, not only in the West but in the East, because Westbrook takes a lot of pressure off LeBron. It takes pressure off of AD as well, and look, this trade, it has gone through. It's official now. We can confirm it. This trade shows you how not desperate, but how invested the Lakers were in getting that other big star to play with LeBron James and AD. 184 triple doubles for Russell Westbrook, more than anyone in NBA history. He's going to have that record by a country mile by the time he retires. Is he still going to be able to put up a lot of triple doubles? Yes. Is he going to be able to maybe have the same scoring, not ability, but the same scoring production? Maybe not, but I think that weighs out because he's going to be playing with LeBron James. I think he's still going to average around 18, 19 points per game, somewhere in that area, and still be productive in rebounding and maybe less so in assisting. But Russell Westbrook going to the LA Lakers is a huge pickup for them. Washington, this is a move where Washington, I think, is looking more towards, maybe the future here. We talk about Kyle Kuzma. We talk about Montrezl Harrell. Montrezl Harrell just opted into his contract for the 2021 year, or for the 2021-2022 year. He just got traded. KCP was another piece of this team that got traded. So these are young players they have coming in, but at the same time, I think this could mean that Bradley Beal is on his way out of DC. I think this opens up that door. This also opens up a door for them to have a possible rebuild, but I don't think it will be like a painful rebuild for Washington. They got They got the first round pick this year. They got Kyle Kuzma as a good player, and they're also going to get whatever the Bradley Beal haul is going to be, and that has the potential to be big. That being said, though, it is sad if you are a Wizards fan, I think, to an extent, because there was so much talk about how good Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal were as a duo. There was so much talk about how they worked well together, how much they liked each other. Bradley Beal went on record to say that this was probably his favorite teammate to have in Russell Westbrook. Doesn't matter now. Russell Westbrook, gone. He's a Laker, and the Lakers just got so much better. The West better watch out, because now they have the ability, when LeBron James is injured, when LeBron James is out, when Anthony Davis is out, taking time off, Russell Westbrook can come in there and dominate for that team, put some good pieces around them as well, get somebody to replace Montrezl Harrell's role. KCP, what was he really doing anyway? It's interesting. It's an interesting move, and by far, I think so far the biggest surprise by far of the night. A lot of people thought maybe Bradley Beal was going to be the person to go. Nope, it was Russell Westbrook, and that's how it be sometimes. That's really how it be sometimes. That is the mysterious nature of the National Basketball Association. You gotta love it, though. You have to love how these things can happen in this way. That being said, we totally missed it. Joshua Primo was picked by the Spurs, which, again, I thought they were going to go guard. I didn't think Primo was going to go there. I had Primo going 28 to the 76ers. It just depends on who you like. I'm still very surprised that Trey Mann has not gone yet. I thought there were some players like I thought Zaire Williams and Primo were going to go after Trey Mann, but that didn't happen. But again, the news of the night is still going to be the Lakers acquiring Russell Westbrook. That is huge. Again, I'll put it up. The big trade, Russell Westbrook to the Lakers, and Washington going to get to this year's first round pick, as well as Kyle Kuzma, who we haven't talked about. Kyle Kuzma is he's out there. Fudge. Yeah, but the Wizards, this might be a rebuild for them. Kyle Kuzma, again, one of those players where people thought, hey, he's good, but he's not the third. He's not the third that Lakers team needed to optimize their ability. He is not that guy, and it's just how it works out in the NBA sometimes. That's just how it works out. And the pick is in here for the Pacers. So, again, we have on the board Keon Johnson, Alperen Sengun, Corey Kispert, Moses Moody, and Jalen Johnson out of Duke. There are still some great players to be had here, some great picks to be had. The Pacers, I think, getting someone like Moses Moody, I think, is a good fit for them. I think Moses Moody is gonna be also one of those gem type of players in this draft who fell way below where he probably should have. I also think that there's a chance here where you could see Keon Johnson go here. I think Keon Johnson's a good pick here too. We'll find out who's gonna go here in just a second here, guys. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. God bless him. Jalen Rose is talking about his family's smiling down on Detroit Pistons, as they should be. God bless his family. And God bless the Detroit Pistons, who just got an amazing player in Kate Cunningham, by the way. We'll talk more about that later. Pick is in here, though, for the Pacers.
On the clock at pick number 13. Then we'll wrap up the lottery with the Warriors afterwards with their second pick. The pick is
So this is the second to last lottery pick. The Pacers pick is in. Let's take a listen.
with the 13th pick in the 2021 NBA draft. The Indiana Pacers select Chris Duarte.
Whoa! Chris Duarte from the Dominican. Okay, interesting pick here. Chris Duarte was someone who I thought was going to go much lower than this, but hey, or much higher rather than this. Or sorry, lower. He was going to go lower in the lower rung of the draft. Yeah, Chris Duarte. I had him going 19 to New York. It be like that. That's an interesting pick. It's an interesting fit right there. I thought Moses Moody was gonna be better fit for them. But hey, Chris Duarte, ability to score. He's gonna get better over time. I think he's good.
Congratulating the 2021 NBA draft picks. Congratulations.
Chris Duarte, what a pickup here.
Back to my day. Congratulations
What a pickup here.
and accomplishment.
And we're gonna round out the lottery here with Trey Murphy III going to Washington. Washington, of course, now. Or sorry, no, not Trey Murphy III. What am I talking about? Davion Mitchell. We still have Davion Mitchell. I'm reading out the wrong thing. I'm sorry. It's been a long, long night, and my co-hosts all bailed on me. But I'm still here. I'm still breathing on some Green Day shit. Next, we have the Warriors, and then after that, we have the Wizards to round out the lottery selections as we come towards the end of the lottery picks here. And yeah, Chris Duarte, man, the pride of Dominican. I'm glad to see him go. Yeah, he's got they're showing his kid. That's nice. That's nice. So, we have Golden State here on the clock next. Golden State is on the clock. So, interesting to see what they're going to do. I had them taking Davion Mitchell. Davion Mitchell's obviously off the board now. Now you have some people who you could pick. They got Kuminga early on. They got their wing. Now you can provide some hey, the Warriors have a squad they're about to assemble. And who's going to be a part of that squad is important. Moses Moody is someone who could be taken here. Keon Johnson, I think, is arguably, for me, the best player available. And any of those guys would be really good fits for this team. There would be little pressure. You would be a rotational player, at least to begin with. Maybe a little bit bigger role early on, depending on how long it takes Klay Thompson to get back. But man, the Warriors have a chance here. They pick Kuminga, and they are also on their way. That climb back up for the Warriors just got a lot easier here with the ability for them to pick any one of these great players. Sharif Cooper still on the board. Trey Mann, obviously, if you want to take some pressure off of Steph. And Jalen Johnson, another good pickup, possibly, but Kispert. No, I think Keon Johnson or Moses Moody. Those are the two picks. If you're the Golden State Warriors, those are the two players that would make your team better. And especially given the fact that you pick Kuminga. I don't think you go another wing here. I think you go guard. You go kind of like a similar position where Klay Thompson's at, depending on what his injury status is and where he goes. But Moses Moody, for me, is the pick here. That's who I think should go here, and that's who I think will go here. I'm very confident, actually, even though, obviously, this draft is not gone. My mock draft. Here's my mock draft. Throw it out. Who knows what's going to happen, but I have Moses Moody. I think Moses Moody. I'm fairly confident Moses Moody will go here. Like, he's just an automatic fit for this team. He makes the most sense, you know. He's an automatic fit for this team. He's that because he can play the wing and he can play the shooting guard. But let's take a listen to who they pick.
In the 2021 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Moses Moody.
I knew it. It had to be him. It had to be him. Moses Moody going to the Warriors to really, really help out Steph Curry, Klay Thompson in the squad. Moses Moody, man, 6'6", 205 pounds out of Arkansas. An excellent shooter, both off the ball and off the dribble. Moses Moody impresses with his spatial recognition, does an excellent job, a really good job, moving the ball in the court. I think he's got an ability to be a very versatile type of player. Not only can he be, maybe a Mikal Bridges type of player, I think he's got an ability to be maybe he could fit in well. If he fits in well with that team and he gets better at shooting, especially the three ball, and who better to learn from? Who better to learn from than Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, two of the best to ever do it as far as three-point shooting goes. He has the ability to become an elite shooter, maybe. He's got the athleticism and the raw talent to do it. But molding that, I think he's going to the perfect place. We saw now Moody and Kuminga making moves here for the Warriors. These two went to amazing places. I think these are going to be two picks here that we're going to remember for a while. And it could be part of this comeback for the Golden State Warriors. But that is to be seen, and good luck to them. Good luck to you guys, too. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that like button as well. Help me out. Help out the algorithm. Hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Up next, we have with the 15th overall pick, we are going to see the Wizards, who just made that blockbuster trade, that amazing blockbuster trade to send Russell Westbrook to the Los Angeles Lakers in exchange for Kyle Kuzma, the draft pick, and Condavious Caldwell Pope and Montrezl Harrell. I said "and" there a lot. I know it's been a long, long night. Yeah. So we'll see what happens here. But Moses Moody, man, going to Golden State. So happy for that man. He went to a great place here. Moses Moody going to Golden State. Happy to see him go there. Now, the question is for Washington. Washington here is in not a bit of a bind, but I think we've seen their pick. We're going to see their pick with a little more clarity here. Washington coming into today had Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook on their team. They had this 15th overall pick. Maybe a lot of people thought they were going to build. That is not the case. So now, after this trade, which has gone final, Russell Westbrook is now going to be a Los Angeles Laker. The deal has been agreed to. He's going to L.A., and the Wizards, who are picking here at number 15, they're going to get the Lakers' 22nd pick, so they get another pick here in the draft. They also are going to get Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, Condavious Caldwell Pope as well. And this could spell the end. I said it before just a few minutes ago. I'm going to say it again. This likely spells the end for one Bradley Beal and his time in a Wizards uniform. And that is unfortunate, because he was someone who a lot of people thought was going to be around there. I think there's this... Adam Silver just came out. Oh, I think I know what this is.
I'd like to take a moment to recognize Terrence Clark.
Terrence Clark, who passed away. They're recognizing him with an honorary selection. That's good.
Terrence was an All-American high school basketball star in the Boston area. He attended the University of Kentucky, and following his freshman year, he declared for the draft to pursue his lifelong dream of playing in the NBA. Terrence was expected to be drafted tonight, but he tragically passed away in April following a car crash. He was 19. His extraordinary talent, commitment, and dedication to the game deserve to be recognized on this stage.
That's true.
With
That's
us
true.
This evening is Terrence's mom, Osmeen, his brother Gavin, his sister Tatiana. To the three of you, and to
Big shout out to Terrence.
to now announce
Big shout out.
that with the next pick for the 2021 NBA Draft, the NBA selects Terrence Clark from the University of Kentucky.
Big shout out. Rest in peace, Terrence Clark. Passed away in an automobile accident. Player from Kentucky. This guy was slated to be a lottery pick in this draft. He again passed away in an automobile accident. He has been drafted in this year's draft in an honorary way by the NBA. It's great to see this, man. I'm so glad this has become a part of it because they recognize the talent that isn't there. And unfortunately, 19 years old, taken away. That is very tragic. Very glad to see the NBA do this. Because, again, at the end, this is something that's bigger than basketball. Terrence Clark was a great... He had the ability to potentially be a great player in the NBA. And so sad to see a life gone so short. But this is nice. His family's here. I believe his brother as well.
Should be here with us.
He should be here with us.
Chance to sit with his mother, Osneen, earlier today, and she told me about what a bright light her son was.
What a bright light, yeah.
Meant to him.
Yeah, again, so I'm glad the NBA is doing the special. I'm glad the NBA is doing this special like tribute kind of thing. They did it with Gianna Bryant and the other people who passed away in that helicopter crash back last February with the WNBA draft. There were talks that they might do this with Terrence Clark in this draft because again he passed away I believe in just a few months ago. From an automobile accident, he committed for the draft. He was going to be a lottery pick. This was a really good prospect out of Kentucky, people. And unfortunately, that didn't end up happening, and it's so sad. It's so sad because 19 years old, you don't want to see that type of thing happen. You know, again, it just goes to show it's bigger than basketball. Like the Wizards are on the clock, but I'm glad the NBA with the I believe is the 15th pick selected Terrence Clark. Like he because he deserved it. He deserved to be here. Yeah, and you just feel for his family, but I'm glad they get this. Pick is in, though, for Washington. And again, Washington coming off of this huge monumental trade. They're also going to be picking at number 22. They're coming off this trade that sent Russell Westbrook to the Los Angeles Lakers. Bradley Beal is now, I'm assuming, expected to be traded fairly soon. That's like the only assumption you can make. Bradley Beal, like, I don't understand. Bradley Beal and Kyle Kuzma. That's not the people moving forward. Woj apparently traded this. This is a trade Washington wants to make with Bradley Beal in mind, creating some salary cap flexibility to build talent around him. Maybe I don't know. He's done. He's done. Like, who are you gonna bring in? He has to go. He's gone. Like, no. Who are you gonna bring in? Like, I just don't understand who's gonna be brought in at all. But maybe they're gonna find someone to come in. Maybe. Doubt it, but maybe. Woo! This draft. What a night it's been so far. 15 picks in. My voice is still hoarse, but we're making it through. I don't know when I'll end. I might end this after the first round. Hopefully they go quicker, though. Because I just want them to go quicker. It shouldn't take 15 minutes to do this. And so I think I'm going to call it quits at 10. I'll do that. I'm going to call it quits at 10. Yeah, we're going with that. Quits at 10, people. 10 p.m. Eastern time, by the way. So the Wizards, who just traded Russell Westbrook to the Lakers, are going to be picking here. And you got some interesting talent here left on the board. Maybe they go center. Maybe they go big here with the big guy out of Turkey, Alperen Sengun. I think that's how you say his name. I'm probably botching his name. Big guy out of Turkey, 7-foot center. he could be a good fit there with Bradley Beal to maybe to make a splash there if you want to try to keep him and then add another player. Again, I don't see Bradley Beal staying after this. I just don't see it. Again, I might be wrong. I very well could be wrong because I've been proven wrong time and time again by the NBA. But yeah, you have to do this with the idea Bradley Beal might even request a trade in mind at this point. You have to do that. So again, we'll see.
I know all the hard work that you all put into this. I was right in your position. Wishing you all the best and much success. Enjoy it, embrace it. This journey is beautiful. It's tough. But stay your course.
Oh, big shout out from Natasha Cloud of the WNBA Mystics. Go Mystics, baby. Go Mystics. By the way, big shout out to Elena Delle Donne. Best player in the WNBA. Fight me.
Sunday, August 15th, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We've got the Seattle Storm versus the Chicago Sky.
Today, the NBA draft continues here on ABC with the Wizards.
So here we go. They're going to continue the NBA draft here. The pick is in here. And here comes Adam Silver to make the announcement for the Wizards, who just traded Russell Westbrook. Let's take a listen.
With the 15th pick in the 2021 NBA draft, the Washington Wizards select Corey Kispert.
There we go. Corey Kispert from Gonzaga, the small forward. Corey Kispert out of Gonzaga going to the Washington Wizards. And this is an interesting pick. Again, Kispert was part of this team that went to the national championship along with Jalen Suggs. He is a good prospect. Lots of stuff to like about Kispert. He isn't the most well-rounded player of this draft. You want to say this isn't the most explosive, rather, player of this draft. But he is and can be a difference maker. Kispert, he's probably the best, I think, three-point shooter in this draft. He and like it's not even close. Like this dude has impressive ability to drive, or he has impressive consistency. He has impressive ability to see the floor. Sorry, my voice is kind of going away. And I just think he's a very intelligent basketball player. That's the other part that plays into this so well. Basketball IQ is very good. The question is his ball handling and his ability to really play at that level with the NBA talent around him, and also the explosiveness. Also, the other big thing that I think is going to be something to watch is his individual shot creation. So we'll see. But good to see Kispert go off the board here.
Thought it was a perfect in to get a bulldog. Finally, my dad caved. I think one night it was like, "Gosh, this stupid dog," and immediately it clicked. Like the dog would be called Stu, which is not short for Stewart. It's short for stupid.
But yeah, good to see that. Good to see Kispert going here to Washington. They got a good one.
A sled in the winter. He can do it all. His second favorite toy is a basketball.
So up next, we will have the New Orleans Pelicans picking here, as my voice is basically gone at this point. But it's all right. I do it for the people, don't I? The New Orleans Pelicans are going to be picking here at 17. And we just saw Corey Kispert go off the board. This could be a situation where you see maybe Deion Johnson. I think it's long overdue that he gets off the court here. Oh, sorry. I missed an entire team. It's not the Pelicans. Whoopsies. I made a whoopsies. It is the OKC Thunder with one of their many, many first-round picks here, making the pick. And the Thunder, man, that's an interesting team. They've already made a pick here early. They, excuse me, ooh, as they already picked Josh Giddey, who I thought is going to be one of the best point guards in this draft. And oh, my voice is it's. Oh, that's not a good sign. My voice is going away very fast. I think it might be quitting time after this pick. I'm not gonna lie.
On this special night, when you heard your name officially called as a Detroit Piston from the commissioner, what was going through your mind? I mean, I had a ton of things running.
Yeah, I think after this pick, I might need to go away. Yeah.
In this position, to be considered
Yeah, that it's like one of those things. Like Yeah, I talked too much. I finally did it, people. I finally talked too much.
What up, though? Welcome to Detroit City. Regardless of the score of the game, please know the city's gonna be behind you.
Man, Kate Cunningham, he looks so happy. Jalen Rose is really telling him, man, don't worry about the score of the game, but just know the entire city's gonna be behind you. That's great to see. Excuse me while I eat my cherries. But yeah, the OKC Thunder here pick Josh Giddey. They already got the guard. I think maybe you could see someone like Jalen Johnson go here. You could see possibly Deion Johnson. 10-1 odds a Johnson goes here on this pick. But there's a lot that could happen. Again, my voice is starting to give out. So I apologize for that. I do apologize for that. I'm gonna try to get through it. If not, I'll probably have to end early, which I apologize for. But we'll have a big draft breakdown show as well later on in the week. Excuse me. But yeah, so the pick is in here for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do here. Again, Josh Giddey, they already had the biggest surprise of the draft. So, oh God, it's going fast. It's only been like 3 hours. Oh shit, it's been 3 hours. Shit. No wonder my voice is tired. All right. So we're waiting here for OKC to finally do this. Come on, OKC. Come on. Let's get this. Let's hurry up. The pick is in. Just get it over with. Let's go.
With the 16th pick of the 2021 NBA Draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Alperen Şengün from Giresun, Turkey.
Here we go. Alperen, the big center from Turkey, has been picked. Alperen, the big center from Turkey, has been picked here with the 16th overall pick. The Thunder are getting the second best big man in this draft. This is a guy. He's gonna go up there and get the rebounds. Oh, there's a trade here. Oh, so there was a trade. Too much for me to break down here. I'm sorry, my voice is going out. I've had fun doing this, but I gotta look after the voice. This is precious cargo. I'll do a breakdown of the draft and everything afterwards, and probably coming out in the next 2-3 days. Look for it. I'll try to get it out by Friday, if not by Saturday. But it's been fun hanging out with you guys. My voice has not had so much fun, but it is what it is. Thank you guys. We'll see what happens throughout the night. Take it easy.